Let the music play. Take the chat away.
Na, 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 na.
You know, I can't remember this.
I don't know the lyrics.
Attack
Just
chat all
dance.
night. Do-do-do.
I will say, dude, that song's so good. But there's so many songs from back in the day where I can only like remember like the money riff. Or
Na,
whatever.
na, na, na. Yeah.
Yeah, like you know, you can ring my bell.
All right.
And that's all I know.
So, all right. What's the worst way you rediscovered a music from your childhood?
A music?
Like just a song in general. That's why I didn't get specific, because just in general, music from your childhood. It could literally be some Christmas Carol shit if it just triggered your memory from like some of the worst source materials possible.
Oh, man. Go ahead.
I mean, y'all just now, just thinking of the random bullshit going, oh yeah, I fucking remember that shit.
Yeah. By the way, I mean, he still means that we're great. By the way,
No,
Like,
that's why I laughed. I took it as a compliment.
No, he said the worst possible way, so yeah.
For me, I was watching a porn on Pornhub, and in the background, because I like amateur stuff.
I was
myself.
watching a porn on Pornhub. Are you 45?
Yes, and especially when I tell you the song I was jamming to, that was in the background. I like some amateur
What?
stuff, and usually amateur stuff they don't care about like copyright music. It's just thrown on in the background because it's a party people are fucking, and I'm just in the background. You're my diamond girl, ooh my
yeah.
diamond girl,
That song's
and someone
legit.
just getting doggy style, and I'm like, I don't want to jerk off no more. I want to hear this song.
I know. Have you ever like switched the song off and like just looked up something else and it's like, yeah, like you know, I'm in the mood to do this other thing now. I will say though, certain songs are really good like for sexual like. I don't know, like I'm not even saying like if you're fucking, because I know it's gonna make Alan or Ali shake his head. He's gonna be like, "What the fuck? That's kind of strange that you're talking about sex again." But like, hey, dude, we should be able to have this conversation. We've known each other for 5 years now, 6 years actually, I think.
You're acting like it's not about the comfortability of the conversation. I just want to have it with you.
What about
That's
me?
fucking weird. Like
You
it's almost like
too.
overcompensating. That's almost overcompensating. Like for instance, like I think that you really do want to have the conversation with me, but you gotta like pretend like you don't. So you keep like trying to find
No,
ways to not
because
have.
you're fucking weird, and that's having Jet in the same fucking room.
Oh, I don't know.
All I'm doing is eating an orange, sliced.
I'm
licking
saying
it.
you're not being weird, but you're usually the weird one.
And by the way, I feel like even her saying I'm eating an orange is like are you like eating it weird? Is it like you grab your teeth on it and just kept it in your mouth? Like that one thing. Remember that one picture she had where she had that kiwi in her mouth?
Yeah,
Fucking strange.
that's like my favorite photo I ever took of Jet.
Yeah. Yeah, one of those, hey, by the way, it's very voyeuristic as you hide fucking pictures all the goddamn times of everybody. But that's one of the reviews tonight, is Voyeurs. It's going to be some fun stuff talking about that. And then also, too, Spider-Man No Way Home. We're talking about all them spoilers, some trailer footage, all that good stuff. And
By the way,
thank you, Marcus Devil May Cry. Thank you for following on Twitch. What were you saying?
Speaking of voyeur, so I think I could have finally officially say with this movie that I was forced to watch softcore porn with Jet and Nick presents.
Yeah. It was pretty nice,
Hey,
right? It wasn't weird.
Don't
or anything.
forget Alan and Allie.
That's true, yep.
Yeah, they were there. They were there. I remember now.
No, but yeah, this movie, and we'll get into the review right away. Fuck it. I don't really care about, like, really focusing on setting it up perfectly here. I mean, it's Saturday. There's no pre-show, whatever. We're just doing the show with each other. Gotta tell you, man, I didn't know what to really think about this. Right away, I was like, okay, because this is a bit bounty, by the way. And thank you very much, Gene Jeter, for the bit bounty, the 500 bits. If you guys are curious of adding a, 500 bit bounty in any movie you want to, that's all you gotta do. 500 bits. For a show, for a season of a show, though, is 1,500 bits. So keep that in mind. But, Gene has showed us a lot of stuff. And, we read his books and everything. We just reviewed Sub to Ego, which, by the way, you guys can go and order that from Gene's Amazon page and things like that. Hopefully, if he goes in the chat, he can share his book and all that stuff. But the thing is, though, is like, he talks a lot about sex. He's very interested in sex. And on top of that, he's into pretty women. And his job is literally photography. So this is, like, his realm of, like, expertise. He knows about this shit. This is his thing. But I will say, when he said, hey, you guys should watch Voyeurs, just the name alone, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, this is going to be one of those
I didn't know
movies.
what the fuck that was. I kept mispronouncing it. I was like, what is a voyeur? And I spelled it wrong too. I was spelling it Boyer.
Oh, wait, Voyeur?
Yeah.
Like, boy.
No,
Yeah,
I was doing the
it's like,
same thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the fuck it was.
No, the thing is, I actually used to think voyeurism was, like, old. Because, like, man, back in my day when I was watching the Pornhub and stuff, like, there's a couple of videos I watched that had, like, voyeur on it, and I used to skip it. I used to, like, move past it in my feed because it was always, like, some really awful, like, fucking hiding, like, in a camera thing. It's, like, some fucking old person or, like, old footage. So I was like, ugh, voyeur. Like, this is probably going to be about old people fucking or something. This is going to be, like, strange. So I almost wanted to message Gene, like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? But at the same time, it is what it is. We watched it. We're going to be fair with it and everything, too. But one of the biggest things too that I'm pretty sure not any review is probably talking about is I could not get over the voice of Justice Smith. So you came in late there, Alan. But dude, Justice Smith has this fucking voice. He's like, "Oh hey, how's it going? There's some people across the street and they're having sex."
No, you make it
over
too high pitched. It's more like this, and I just
Oh.
want to know why you want to stare at the neighbors, and it just makes me feel awkward in our.
He actually sounds
relationship.
exactly like Julian Green.
No,
I don't know.
You don't
No,
hear.
I don't know
Julian Green
why.
enough.
I got Julian Green every time I heard him. I only heard him like 3 or 4 times. So
I didn't hear him.
Nah,
I didn't
nah,
hear
th-
him.
Yeah, not even
This
slightly.
dude got bass because he has balls. There's a difference here. Yeah, let's call you a different friend.
You call me Anthony too at this fucking point, bro.
Oh yeah. By the way, that thing that you told us about is going to be a fucking hard transition there, buddy.
It's all good, bro.
But the thing is, I will say though, like, yeah, man, watching this, that voice, it was adding humor to everything. But I don't know if that was the feeling I was supposed to be getting because obviously, this couple, they're looking across the street at this other couple having sex. Now, I will say really quick, as a couple myself, me and Jet, there's a part of this where I was like, I almost understood some of what they were doing. I'm like, you know what, like, this is just like watching porn. I mean, it's weird to be looking at another couple have sex and shit. That's kind of strange. But like the way they were doing it, and the way they were like saying like, "Oh, this is odd that we're doing this. We should probably stop. This is fucking strange." It's like I almost like was okay with this somewhat. Like it wasn't as weird, even though like yeah, it's fucking fucked up. But like, did you feel that way? Did you feel like okay, well, if they explain this, maybe I can learn to accept it, while watching the movie.
Are you asking me would I be okay with basically watching people have sex through a
Not
window?
necessarily that, but like. You looking at this movie because
Because the answer would be no.
No, but I'm looking at these characters though, like, because I want to be so judgmental because like right away.
I'm
it's
sorry,
like,
I'm not laughing at you.
Huh?
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you. Keep going.
What the okay. But what I'm saying though, it's just kind of like like these characters right away. We would say, oh, these characters are fucking terrible. We hate them, whatever. And spoiler alert, we do get to that point. And yes, these characters fucking suck. But I'm like, okay, well, there's a reason why there has to be some kind of like reason why these characters are protagonists. So I'm like, okay, well, like, how fucking bad is this shit? Like, can I see myself doing this, or could it be a thing where it's like, okay, they know it's bad. They don't want to continue doing this. Maybe it's not going to be. Maybe they find a reason to make this like less weird towards the end. Did you feel that at all, or were you like right away like, okay, they're unredeemable. These characters are fucked up. They're watching these other people across the street. I hate them. Nothing can change that.
Oh, right when they started, I just liked everybody, especially Justice Smith with that fucking voice. I couldn't stand it. I was just like, oh, did he sound like this in Detective Pikachu? What the fuck is this?
And the weird thing is too is like we're watching this with Allison Verdun, and the thing is when we were watching the movie, she was like, "Oh, I don't want to watch this shit at all." And then they started speaking like French for a second. She's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna watch all of a sudden." And then they dropped that shit like instantaneously. Like there is no French in here. They don't bring up a lot that they're like in Canada. Like I think they brought up Montreal like once, but this movie could have took place anywhere, and it could have been anything. But it's like I feel like they were trying to win people over somewhat because. I've seen somebody else talk about this movie, and I've seen a trailer of this, and they bring up Canada and Montreal and France, like, in the trailer and like in discussions about this and stuff too.
Isn't there places in Canada that are pretty much really big on French?
Yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah,
entirety
sure.
of Quebec, Montreal would be one of the places that is, I'd say, primarily French.
Free Quebec.
Fuck Quebec and fuck everyone in there.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. It's like. I feel like this movie kind of knew what audience it wanted, and then they're like, okay, like now that you guys are here, fuck y'all. Like we're just making a movie we want to make. And
by the way, before you go on, you might want to click that link from Ryan.
Oh yeah, you should. You really should. It's a good one.
wait, why?
Just
Don't
do it.
worry, it is safe. It's just funny.
Okay.
It is safe for work, Sasuke. You're good.
You're a fucking idiot, Ryan. Tad. Thank you so much. By the way, I know that he didn't make this like straight up a Photoshop thing, but like right away he was like, many jokes to make on here, but the Pornhub being brought up twice, I gotta make sure to do that shit. I know what you're doing over there, Ryan, little pervert. I know what you're doing. But it's all good though. But here's the thing though, man. Alan, when you first got into the movie or whatever, like we were already like so far. I think it was like 35. 40 minutes.
Literally, I came in the last hour of the movie.
Yeah, so I mean, because I'm gonna get to what Ganja thought of this stuff because I feel like he's gonna have a different opinion of me and Jet just because he's fucking weird. But
I started jerking off halfway through the film myself. So
if you did and you were watching this by yourself, I would almost understand. Like,
wait, so you don't understand if I needed an audience?
Yes.
No, not that. What the fuck does it? No. What?
What is this
How the fuck
What
did
is
we
this
get there?
conversation?
See,
Because
no,
you're like,
this
I
is why.
understand if you were watching it by yourself, but I didn't. I watched it with friends, so no audience. But if I'm by myself, go ahead, jack on, guys.
No,
I mean,
but the thing is, all I'm
yes.
saying is like just based on how he reacted to that, because like, I'm telling you, like, Mr. Shakersy over here, he is not a prude, but on the shows he acts prudish as fuck.
No, I don't. You
You
just
really
project
do.
that onto me.
First of all, I've seen his search history. This man's not.
No,
free.
you
No, yeah,
haven't.
and I've seen shit too. You know, he gets a nasty little motherfucker, man. Like I gotta tell you, but
Fuck y'all.
you can't,
Damn, I
can't
didn't
tell
say
me.
all that.
I will say that. I will say that he's a nasty little motherfucker. But the thing is, though, I'm shaking. But good old Shakersy over here. So you came in, you know, quite a bit later on to the movie, and yeah, man, I'm gonna ask you, like, did you think that this movie was just sexual for the sake of sexual, or you're like, no, this actually is fucking weird, and there is a purpose to watching something this fucking off? Like, what'd you think of this when you first came in?
When you're describing the fucking back half of the goddamn movie, I thought this was gonna be what's that Insomnia movie where he's like people are watching through the fucking binoculars and he sees a dead body but he can't leave the house or some shit. I thought that was what the movie was.
Yeah.
Because the way you described it, I'm like, oh, it's like there's been like 17 remakes of that fucking movie. So I'm like, oh, it's that movie, right? And then I was like, nah, it's watch people fuck. I'm like, so what the fuck's the point of this movie?
Yeah.
And as I kept watching it, I'm just like, yeah, this is just it. I kept making the joke, this is 50 Shades of Grey 4. Because it felt
Pretty
like the same movie.
Or like 465 Days. That's another one that Netflix tried to do. Because I think this is Amazon Prime, by the way. And they're the people who financed the movie. I don't know how much they had to do with like the making of the movie or the conceptualization of the movie. But like, it is Amazon Prime's like 50 Shades of fucking Grey or whatever. Which is strange because like on Amazon, there's a lot of the movies that you can watch that are very sexual in nature. I mean, I think Eyes Wide Shut's available on there. I think there's a lot of shows that are on there that are very sexual.
Yeah, I don't think you'd enjoy Eyes Wide Shut and sexuality in there because it's very gross.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. I never watched it. I know when I was a kid, I saw like a trailer or whatever. So my dad ordered it, and I didn't know. I was like, oh, you probably wanted to watch those people dance in that one room. And I just saw titty after titty. And I was like, they're not even doing anything with it. It's not even like, I don't know. And then those stupid masks. You know when people wear those masks on their eyes?
Those
whatever?
masquerade mask.
Yeah. It's like, why? Like, who would everyone be in part of that shit? Just walking around, eating fucking little fruit on those little sticks. I'm gonna
Well, usually rich white people.
I know, but that's why, like, those buildings are the buildings that people should, like, throw eggs at. You know what I mean? I was going to say something worse, but I don't want to say that in a live, publication.
Dog shit.
I was going to say bombs. But here's the thing, though. So, I knew fucking Viper Fucks was going to say that. Oh, masquerade party would be nice.
Well, I mean, Nick,
Wow.
you'd enjoy it. You wear a mask. So you don't
Only
have
if
to
I
wear
could dress up in an assassin hood and walk around like fake stabbing people.
No, but then, like, imagine, like, servants walking around, like, would you like a little bit of produce over here? You know, just walking around and shit. A bunch of white people looking at you, wondering if they're going to buy you or not. Yeah, fuck
Man,
that.
I live in Denver. I'm used to a bunch of white people thinking I'm gonna buy some shit or not.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I don't want to be around
I
that.
don't know. Ganja just said going around in an Assassin's Creed outfit. That'd be dope as fuck.
Wow. Add that to the list of things I would know.
You're gonna go to a masquerade party and then hop around and like swing on ropes and
I
stuff
know.
like that.
Look,
dope
Alan,
as fuck.
Alan, they don't get it, brother.
What
Me,
what
you
in the
got it.
Phantom
Thank
of
you,
the Opera?
thank you, Ganja. No, it'd be cooler. Assassin's Creed 2, you go around a masquerade like during the French Renaissance. You're just going around in an Assassin's Creed outfit with the fucking mask on. It's dope as hell.
You-
I'll
I just-
pat
holy shit,
I'll
I
pat
just-
Diaz on the shoulder while I walk by him really slow and shit.
I just realized
What the
something.
fuck's wrong with you, Ganja?
I actually just realized something.
What?
This is like seriously a very, very important thing about our friendship that I just found out right now.
That I like Assassin's Creed?
No, dummy. The thing is I think everything I don't like about you is because you're Canadian. I
What?
think
What?
that's it. Yeah. Because
What the
you and me-
fuck are you on?
No, because here's the thing. You wanting to do that is very Frenchy. You know what I mean? It's very like
I fucking hate the French. What are you talking about?
I know, but you
Come
can't
back,
you
yeah.
can't hide what you are. That's true.
What?
I'm sorry, man.
How do I react to this?
Wait, did I say it was that racist? What I just said?
Yes.
Yes.
Holy shit! I didn't even know.
I thought it was some sort of coming out thing. Like you can't hide.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
What does this have to do with the review? Who fucking knows?
No, because a lot of the things that happen in this movie is actually shit that I can imagine French
Such
people doing.
the chat chat in USA.
I'm Canadian and I'm I'm Canadian. I'm Arab. I don't know, like I
No,
don't
no,
know,
like I like your
words of
Arab
French.
stuff. No, like there's something about the Arab stuff that I dislike about you. Well, I don't know much about you. but the Canadian stuff, cause like okay. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to Reese, Jenny, Ryan. Oh, and all y'all.
What
have
about
things.
me?
No, I already said sorry to you, fucking diva.
No,
God
you
damn it! I fucking I said sorry twice. You didn't even accept it. I ain't gonna do it again. And just throwing sorries out there. Oh, I'm sorry. Fuck all y'all. No, but the thing is though, no, because I'm gonna be honest. So, oh my god, I'm like trying to find a way to say this in a nice way. Because you motherfuckers are sensitive. All right, like you're gonna find a way to turn this into whatever you want to turn it into. Okay, that's not what.
He just looked at me and said, everything I don't like about you is because of where you were born.
No, but like, because you do shit that's Canadian. Like, you do some French shit. And I gotta tell you, like, this is the thing I've always had. Because, like, look, and this is not like, I don't treat people differently based on race or anything like that. But if someone talks a certain way, I get irritated. And I gotta tell you, the language, the French language, I hate this. Oh, thank you so much for that. Gene
Thank
says,
you for another movie.
Threesome from 2009. What the fuck, Gene? Thank you for the bits. We're gonna watch that threesome from 2009. I bet it's about sex. Anyways, so here's the thing, though. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say, it's like, it's threesome, so probably, but it just watches it be like a business venture between three friends.
Probably. But no, so here's the thing, though, man. Yeah, it's like something about how you guys talk, you know, when you're talking that language. It just feels very, like, regal and almost like you're looking down at me. Like, I don't like that shit. I don't like when people talk French. It's annoying. It's an annoying language to me. No offense to anybody. And I will say, too, that there's another situation where it's like, you know, like the masquerade thing, I don't think that's very American. Unless, like, you're a really, really rich white American.
I'm about to say that happened in America a lot.
No, like, I'm sure everything just happened everywhere a lot. I'm sure there's shit happening in Puerto Rico. They can't even afford to have fucking houses not made out of straw, but yet there's some masquerade shit over there, too. I don't know. But my thing is, though, it's like, I think it happens more in France, I believe. I could be wrong. But, like, the masquerade thing, I've noticed that it's in a lot of Canadian shit. And a lot of, you know, like, high standard shit, whatever. And the fact that, like, you and Reese in the chat's like, oh, I would go there. I would do masquerade. It's one of those things I'm like, yeah, of course you fucking would. And I can read that all over y'all. You know what I mean? But it's not a bad thing. I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying, like, I could see that. So, like, some of the things that we disagree on, like, you know how you said how you want to die or how you want to be buried? You're like, shoot arrows in the air and confetti and...
No, a Viking funeral.
Yeah, but that's like one of those masks. Like, I can, just by that, how you want to fucking be buried, like... I can tell you'd go to masquerade thing. You're a fancy.
You are getting a shoebox and you are gonna like it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
I'm not that small, Jet.
They got big shoe boxes. But no, you can hide in my shoe. I got you. But no, man. But I just feel Cedric saying like, you think I talk ghetto because I'm a black man from Chicago? Do you talk ghetto?
I don't know, Nick. Answer the question.
I don't know.
Answer it, Nick. Come on. You seem to want to describe everyone else. Answer it.
No, because they're my people. You know.
Chicago's are your people?
Yeah, I'm gonna be living in Chicago soon.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, fuck you.
It'll last about 5 minutes.
Probably. But you know what though? I'll die like a normal person instead of like, hey, can you guys spend like money on a troop, like people getting together in a fucking line and then shooting arrows and confetti, and then the fucking band, dun 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 dun.
Nah, no band.
He's dead. Like, you know, what the fuck?
You're more upset about the dramaticness of my funeral than the fact that I died?
No, like, I'm gonna be sad about that, but like, you know, who cares?
I'll be the person at Alan's funeral, basically, like, sitting in the front, basically just gossiping the whole time. Like, look how she came in here with them goddamn shoes. Where does she think she's at?
No, man.
Like,
dead in the ground, Jet. I'm dead.
Like, why they got Alan in
He's
that
buried in the French soil.
But okay. Like, I know we're being funny, or well, some people might think that. But like overall, Alan, do you kind of see my point in that? Like, how I can kind of see how like your personality fits a lot of things that would be like you would have a lot in common with French people.
No.
Like,
and I also want to point out, Ganja said that shit first, and I agreed with him because I'm like, that shit sounds dope.
Wait, what?
Did you not forget that this whole thing of dress like a sap to go to masquerade party, Ganja said first?
Well, yeah, he was high. You listen to him.
He's right. I do be getting baked.
Yeah.
Why are you agreeing with him?
Because I do be getting baked.
No, by the way, I like how, you know, Ali Shakers even here is one of the smartest people I fucking know, but yet, like, sometimes Ganja goes, I know you should fucking go at your dinosaur. And then Allie's just like, oh yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Yeah, sure.
I love how you say that, but you say crazier shit sober.
I know, but you don't even listen to me, so you like that doesn't even.
I don't listen to him half the time either.
You just did that. That's a very stupid thing you just said. That's dumber than
that's a half.
People, I don't know what's going on. Look, this movie.
Okay, back to the fucking movie at hand.
I'm sorry. No, I really am, because I said it offensively. I didn't mean it, because I'm insulting. Like I didn't realize we had so many Canadians watching this, and I am sorry, but like change yourselves. So the thing is though, so with this movie, I feel like it wasn't very Canadian though. I feel like if you're gonna like sell people on the fact they're gonna be French or be Canadian or whatever, you should do it. You should like represent a little bit. And I feel like they didn't do this at all. And you being Canadian, do you feel like they probably should have show more of Montreal or how things are?
Sorry, this is a stupid question. This movie's set in Canada?
I could have sworn there's a place. I remember Allie says, or no, I think it was Jet. She was like, "Oh man, like I like that about New York," and I was like, "Wait, so is this in New York?" Or
it looked like New York.
No, like something. They're definitely in Canada. Like, but like, I like how they're walking around. Stuff reminds me of how we were walking around in New York.
Okay, yeah. And then Risha said it's in Montreal. Yeah, so that's what I thought is in Montreal. And like, but you like, I mean, the fact that you're confused because you should know right away, but like, I didn't know either, and they brought it up numerous times, but it's like there's no Canadian to it. I'm like, are they saying Canada, but then they actually take place somewhere else? Because Resident Evil Apocalypse is there too.
The only reason I knew it was in Quebec, in Montreal specifically, is because as soon as like they started talking in the diner, I was like, man, I hate these fucking East Coast New Yorker types. These elitists, just douchebags. And I go off on I was on a Diaz rant about New Yorkers for like a good 5 minutes. And Allie, our old co-host and our current friend, she looks at me basically on the camera and goes, they're from Montreal. Oh.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like it's the generic big city vibes. Because like you saying that right now, like I mean, I've only been in Montreal in passing, so I never really spent more than a passing few moments in there. But it's big city. It's not like we have constantly like, the Canadian flag draped across every goddamn building, and the streets just run with maple syrup. I don't know what you mean by more Canadian, but like it's a generic big city.
I guess for me, the only reason why I was curious, whatever, because there's a lot of things I like that are Canadian, but I don't know anything about Canada, whatever, right? And then another big thing about this too, and not to like make this all about you or anything too, because I feel like now I'm making this review of my fucking friend over here, but like, I know you're Lebanese for the longest time. So like when I started learning about Lebanon, and I was like, hey guys, I got this interesting, like I was watching this thing about Lebanon, and it's so fucking interesting, this thing was going on, and you're like, yeah, I'm Lebanese. I'm like, oh shit, like why don't you, like that's really interesting. Like I'm surprised you don't like bring that up, like, you know what I mean, or talk about it a lot. So I almost wanted to learn more about these things. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm not a huge fan of necessarily bringing up specific aspects of my culture, mostly because it's like, I'm gonna be real, I don't know a lot about my own culture. I kind of grew up in Canada, so I got more engrossed in the Canadian culture than I became with my own. So it's like, there are people that are outside my culture that probably know more about it than I do, but it's still a part of who I am. It's just one of those things where I just don't really know a lot. So I don't sit there be like, announcing it to the world, because it's like, and I don't say it doesn't matter, but it's not as big of a part of my life as it is for other people.
Yeah. But another thing that I feel like they didn't do a whole lot, and this is where I'll get into Ganja, but it's like, the movie's called Voyeurs. And it is weird that they're over there watching someone else have sex, and they do show some sex, and there's some eating pussy and all that shit. But it's like, maybe this is me just being fucked up because I've watched so much porn and shit or whatever. But like, 365 Days on Netflix sexually whoops this movie's ass. Like, this movie is very, very high quality, like, filmmaking, right? And it gets, I mean, the storyline's pretty fucking intense, but like, they go to like a Halloween masquerade type party, and there's all this sex shit going on, but like, I feel like for a 2.5 hour movie, like there should have been more sex. You know what I mean? Like that was weird. So Ganja, like you watching this, were you kind of like thrown off like, oh, this is like generic white people shit? Where like, or not even white people shit, but like housewife shit. Where like they're just bored and watching this and like, ooh, oh that's kinky, but like there's really nothing kinky going on.
I think it's just what the movie is about. It's about voyeurism. The fact that their life is going on to such a unknown in terms of them moving in. There's a couple of hits, they want to start a family together and all that. And there's an opportunity for them, and the one of the main character mentions this in the dialogue when they go to the masquerade party. This is a chance for them to do something exciting before their life becomes the mundane of like raising kids, being parents, that whole shit that everyone looks forward to when they have a long-term relationship that gets to that level. And like I said, one of the dialogues that kind of tipped me off to where this relationship was going was well, we can make this like our thing for when we finally calm down and we're born. And I was like, okay, so you already got a negative outlook on what monogamy and the outlook of the end goal of monogamy as boring and superficial and just being stuck with the same person. So I already knew this character has some other I guess you would say intuition when it came to how she wanted to act out certain fantasies.
Yeah.
For example, like there's a couple times where she straight up disrespects her dude. Again, to use the masquerade scene where she just allows this stranger to grab her and do all kinds of like forceful stuff with her. That clearly showed that the attraction was more hers than his, and he was going along because he was trying to play with the relationship angle. It actually kind of reminds me of another movie I reviewed for the Metropolis collective that had the same kind of premise, and it was about the same thing about open relationships and starting to be voyeuristic towards other people, and how that tends to go south, or people just tend to use that as an excuse as the last way to do a hurrah in their relationship before they finally end it. And I think that's exactly what this was. She clearly did not have any like strong emotional connection to the relationship, except because her own like, and this comes up a lot with the character, her own self of righteousness. Because throughout the film, her own self like need to be right as well as to self gratify herself in terms of like either being correct or even in her voyeurism leads her down the road where a lot of the bad things tend to happen to this couple is through her own drive to see this through her own self gratification. Matter of fact, there's so much there's so much about her self gratification. They show a masturbation scene in the movie,
Yeah.
which shows this is not a couple aspect. This is about her.
Yeah, but then it's like, one of those things too that I was looking at this with like a certain amount of eyes where I'm like, yeah, dude, Justice Smith is a pretty bad boyfriend. Like, and I understand things like, like he doesn't want to have sex, he's tired, or whatever the fuck, but like there's parts where I'm like, dude, like she just got done jacking you off, and then like she's been watching this other couple have sex, and then you guys start like, getting together or whatever, and then he finishes like within a minute before the couple across the street finishes, and he's like, all right, smack your ass, go in bed. And I'm like, dude, like you couldn't even like, I mean, like make out with her, lay down with her, do something. It was just like, it just felt so like, dude, like you're kind of boring as fuck, to the point where I'm like, would it be like, take away from like that guy cheating across the street or doing the things he was doing out of malice, which we'll talk about a bit, but it's like, I'm not saying that like it makes sense for her to cheat because cheating's never okay, but I wouldn't be surprised if she left him. Like, Jed, I'm gonna ask you that. Like, the character Justice Smith, like, could you have seen yourself staying with somebody like that? Like, being just like, the.
Oh, sorry, I got a message real quick, and I was just looking at it. But can you repeat the question, please?
God damn it! Fuck!
I was fucking polite about it. Repeat the goddamn question.
5 points away from Gryffindor.
All I'm saying.
I'm not even in fucking Gryffindor.
Oh, Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw's the best. Fuck you.
What
you know what?
the
Just
fuck
for
are
that,
you
minus
dumb shits
20
talking
points,
about?
bitch.
What are you idiots talking about? What
Go ahead,
the
keep
fuck
the review
nerdy
going.
shit?
The ones that get the reference get the reference to you. Keep going. You got strong dick energy right now. Go.
Anyways, all I'm fucking saying is like, yeah, like the whole fucking thing with Justice Smith being so boring. If she had just left him and then ended up fucking the guy across the street without all the other drama this movie was about, Jed, would you have understood where she was coming from if she left Justice Smith? Because she's so unhappy?
I would have understood that, her basically going to the other apartment and fucking that dude, even though like that one girl, did what she did. Like, no, everyone in this movie is a terrible fucking person.
Well,
with Justice Smith being probably like the least terrible, but he's everyone in this movie I fucking despised.
Yeah, no, I mean I did too, but at the same time, I'm just like, I'm trying my best to squeeze something out of here where I'm just not like, this movie sucks and all the people are bad. But I guess I'm going to go to there because yeah, there's not enough here. That sun's like in my fucking eyes, isn't it?
Yeah, what is happening? Is Jesus like sick of your shit? He's about to come take you.
I know he's about to take me. Yeah, it's like ridiculous here. But nah, dude, like yeah, overall, like, because I mean I want to do a scene by scene with everything, but yeah, like there's twist upon twist upon twist, and I don't want to ruin those twists for you guys. But like, dude, I shouldn't even told you that there was a twist. But like, just trust me, you're not gonna guess what it is. If you want to pretend like you can guess it, whatever, then go ahead. It's fun to guess what's gonna happen because this could have went in a million different directions, and it doesn't go into some that a lot of other movies have. This movie did something legitimately different to the point where, like, I hated this movie halfway through. I was like, please watch this in fast speed, or let's just skip some shit, or can we skip the sex scenes, or can we do this, can we do that? And then when the twist happened, even though, like, I kind of, like, I was like, okay, well, now we got the twist, so the movie can't get any better. But I felt like the twist was so good that it earned my attention. So now it's like, okay, in an hour and 25 minutes, I'm paying attention now. Like, I will stop fucking with my phone. I'll stop playing my video game. I am going to pay attention to the movie now. And when I started doing that, like, it kept doing interesting shit and unpredictable shit. And it really redeemed a lot of what this movie is. However, there's a lot of shit here where it's just like, okay, like, if you're watching The Voyeurs, obviously you want to see titties and pussy and dick getting sucked and all that shit. And this movie, I mean, it shows some titties and the girls are fucking beautiful and they got big boobs and all that shit. So, like, I can give it points some up for that. But, like, you know, the movie's actually legitimately good for the storytelling and for the twists. So it doesn't really tell you that these twists are going to happen because it would ruin its own fucking surprise. So if you're coming over here to watch this for sex, just watch porn or watch 50 Shades of Grey or watch 365 Days. Don't watch this movie. It's not as good as those other movies.
Don't watch 50 Shades of Grey. It ain't worth it.
I never really seen those, but like I would imagine that the sex scenes are, I don't know.
They're not.
terrible.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, shit. I don't know. I mean, just watch porn. Why are we watching? Like, why do people still make softcore porn movies? That makes no sense to me. It's like
You
everyone
gotta put
has
something
access-
on YouTube.
I mean, the real answer, the director just wants to see the actress is naked and wants an excuse to videotape it.
No, but like it makes money at the box office. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's people,
Oh, yeah,
people
why
are
do
in
people
line
watch it?
and they go get popcorn and they're like sitting there. Like, dude, imagine being a girl who's gonna rub herself to watch these movies at the movie theater. You're gonna get popcorn, so what? You're gonna get your butter hand fucking finger go, oh, the popcorn's good. Anyway,
That's friction. You get more of that slide glide.
Oh,
Fuck.
Lord.
Take it, ants.
No, but like I just feel like that's fucking
Oops,
strange.
Butterfinger.
Jesus Christ. No, but I just think that like yeah, like no one actually has to be like watching these and being like, dude, this is totally fucking getting me. Like hell yeah, like it's just you have access to all these. It's almost like only old people will watch something like this and actually get something out of it.
I mean, probably.
Yeah, which is strange. Gene says, I didn't do the bounty for the sex, but the twist and just nature of the story. And yes, it could have been done better. Yeah, no, I actually butter popped this pussy. Anyways, look, all I'm gonna say, I understand why this was on Amazon because I feel like this wouldn't like imagine a trailer for this. It's like, what are they gonna sell? Ooh, I watch people fuck. It's like, yeah, so does the internet. That's why it's there. This movie was a fucking 1.5 out of 5, and I love the twist, but it doesn't actually fully save the movie because as cool as the twists are and unpredictable as it is, they do a twist on a twist on a twist on a twist, and then it's like, okay, like that's too much now.
Like at first it's kind of like, oh damn, look at that twist, and then they kind of hint at it at the beginning of the movie, and then just like, okay, it's still going.
Yeah.
Okay, it's still going. Okay, you're doing too much now. You're doing too much. That's enough. Fucking doing too much. That's enough.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like it's to a point where it's like, and it's not really confusing doing too much. It's just like I have to accept that this shit's even possible, and then you do it again, and then you do it again, and I'm like, dude, like, how the fuck could this happen? And it's not even like if the director explained to me how this works in the universe, I can't argue with it because it makes sense. But it's just like it's like a joke. You don't put a hat on a hat. I can say shit that's true, like, man, I fell down and then I dropped a can of potatoes on my head or whatever, like some stupid joke or whatever. But like you don't add that second layer to the joke because it kills it. You're like trying too hard. You're trying too hard to be twisty. You're trying too hard to be funny.
Yeah.
You don't do hat on a hat. And this movie is hat on a hat on a hat on a hat on a hat. So yeah, that's what hurts the movie for me. But Jet, I mean, you know, I gave it 1.5 out of 5. I'm wondering where you are as far as the ratings go.
Despite the fact I did not like this movie, I was never bored with it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the thing. Like if I'm bored with a movie, like I'll just be like, okay, that was a big fucking waste of my time. Like with this one, it's just like, okay, I fucking hate everyone in here. To a point where I started to get more where it's like, all right, who's actually the worst person in this movie? Is it this person? Is it this person? But
Yeah.
no, like I won't be as harsh and give it a 1.5 because the twist was pretty entertaining. Well, it took a little bit to get there, and I thought this movie stopped at multiple times where it's just like, okay, the movie must be over. Okay, it's still going. Okay, it's still going.
Yeah.
Look at the time. Oh, this still has a whole hour left. What they got left? Okay. But yeah, like I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it. I was entertained. Personally, I would never watch anyone else have sex through a big ass fucking window like that.
Really? You don't want to try it out? You want to try it out?
No.
No, because it's legal.
Especially it's just like it's pretty fucking obvious that like they're gonna see you. Like I know they're basically trying to hide and shit, but like there's points where they're just standing at the window. So it's like they fucking
Yeah,
see
their windows open too. Like their blinds are open. So it's like, like they would wonder like, okay, they're not looking at us. Who the fuck are they looking at? They're looking at somebody. Like fucking son, get out of here.
But I give this a 2 out of 5.
Okay.
Just because I wasn't bored.
Yeah. And yeah, I gotta say though, like I think that Allie, fucking, I am finding some. That shit's like right there. That actually blinded me for a second. Jesus Christ. But I will say though,
sunglasses next scene.
The biggest thing too is like, this sounds weird, but I mean like, dude, like with the porn being on the internet and everything too, it's one of those things where it's like, you can't really judge too much on the voyeurism because people watch that shit. Like it's literally out there. So it's like, I will say the casting's good. Like. I could see how, like, because, like, okay, in 50 Shades of Grey, I don't find anybody attractive. I'm sorry. Like, maybe guys find that skinny chick attractive. I don't. Here, I'm like, you guys have really good HD cameras. Like, you guys are putting a lot of work into, like, the sexualized. I'm getting pissed off with that, son. But, like, seriously, it's like, seriously, I can't even see the screen at a certain point. It's, like, right in my fucking eye.
The girls were the only attractive people, like, in this movie. Everyone else is just kind of like, especially with the blonde dude, just like,
Well, I could see girls liking him because he's like actually in shape and he's buff and shit. Like I could see that.
That's a no for me. Like that doesn't make the pussy pop whatsoever. That's gonna be a no.
Yeah. So, she's from Euphoria. Jesus, Gene, I get worried sometimes. You know too much about these sex fucking things.
Yeah, it's the main chick. Same thing. Zendaya is also in that show.
Yeah. That's creepy too. Like I don't even want to get back into that show because if I see Zendaya get fucked, I'm gonna be like, oh man, MJ, what the hell? I'm telling Tom Holland. But yeah,
I'm telling Spider-Man, you just ran out the room.
I know he's just shooting webs at the window. Shit. Oh yeah, that's hot. Anyways, no, but
yeah, that was his wrist. Yeah, sure.
But usually I save Ellen for the end. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you first because I want Ganja to be the main event of this. So, dude,
okay. Sounds good.
What would you rate this, Mr. Shakazine?
It is one of those things where it's like, guys, I only saw half the movie, so I can't sit there and give it a full rating. But in the hour I saw, half of it was just meandering. It was just like people sitting down and foreboding music as they have these conversations, and it's like people just sit down and have conversations that are out of the room. Guy sits down, goes, "Do you watch pornography?" I'm like, "Sir, we just sat down."
Yeah.
That scene really had me just like, girl, you're still sitting down. At this point, I would have got up and left.
Might as well have said, "How's your sex life?" Might as fucking well said that. And I'm watching this, and this dude is either Aaron Carter or the dude from the Eminem music video Stan, and he's like jumping in between them in my head. So I'm like, I already don't like this dude, and just nothing. The music was telling me to be sad or upset or whatever the fuck. I'm just kind of bored. And then the twist happens. I'm like, oh, that was really interesting. Didn't see that coming. That was really well done. And then the movie just decides not to end and keeps going. I'm dying here. Yeah. Decides to keep fucking going, and I just got bored by the end of it. I'm like, that's kind of interesting, but I'm like, this movie kind of sucks, so I'll give it a 1 out of 5, only because if I had to watch an hour more of this bullshit, I don't think I would have cared about the twist because I would just stopped caring. Like, whatever, I'm glad it's over.
Yeah. I can't really disagree with a lot that you said there. Ganja, take it away, good sir. What would you rate this? And any last comments you want to make, you fucking prevert?
Oh, my preverted ass gives it a 2 out of 5. I have to give it a punt. I got blinded by the light. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I know. It's like really pissing me the fuck off. Dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Because now it's starting to get way worse, and I'm just waiting for you to become angelic at this point.
No, I'm seeing the sun literally move. Like it's like, hey, I got you, motherfucker. You can't.
Hey man, it wants to watch the show. It needs a good view.
I had like a full train of thought, and then I just saw a light just smack you in the face.
I mean, it's almost Christmas, so maybe you'll transcend.
Welcome to Arizona, everybody.
When it comes to the movie, I give it a 2 out of 5, mostly because I have to give it a point above you because that twist gave me a little more life. Like for that first half of the movie, I was like, this is just the usual kind of like thriller of like, is the relationship going to survive? Are they going to interact with the couple next door? Where's this leading to? Where's this going? There's a lot of what if questions that kind of keep you hyped in the beginning of the film. But once you start seeing that, with the twist and like it's starting to develop and certain characters pay for consequences of their actions and how they bring this all back into a big conspiracy, it's enjoyable as hell to a certain extent. And the movie doesn't make me feel bad for hating all these characters, which is great. Sometimes a lot of these movies, they make me want to either feel some kind of remorse or empathetic towards these completely scumbag characters, Whereas this one, they're really horrible people, and the ones that try to justify their actions are clearly shown to be horrible people themselves.
Yeah. So yeah, I kind of agree with that point too, where it's like I like movies because King of Staten Island did this too, where it's like, hey, our characters are pieces of shit, so it's okay if you hate them, but they're pieces of shit, and it's like, okay, that's cool. But here's what's not a piece of shit though. Our next review. Now, gotta warn you guys, this is gonna be spoiler heavy as fuck because I'm gonna nerd out.
Oh, can I guess what it is?
What?
Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas.
Fuck
yeah!
Oh, I will fuck you up.
Raziel's Flame, thank you for rating us for the 15 people. I really appreciate that, sir. Red Eye Gaming, thank you very much for following on Twitch. And lots of you guys, just thank you for being here, everybody. Right now we're about to talk about something really big, though, so I'm going to reiterate what I just said right before you guys came in. But we're going to be talking about a movie, and we're going to spoil all of it. So, yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, then get the fuck out of here. But it's Spider-Man No Way Home. And about Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas, now I'm blurry. Let me see. Does that help? Okay.
It's having,
what the fuck is going on today?
No idea.
That's crazy, dog. But no, guys. So here's the thing, though. On top of doing that, though, tomorrow we're gonna be doing Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas. Now that's going to be a bad movie roast for Double Toasted on Tuesday. But we watched that yesterday, and I don't want to tell you guys how you feel about that. We'll get into that tomorrow for sure for the Sunday service. But it's time to get into Spider-Man No Way Home.
Kirk Cameron right now is basically trying to fuck you up for even talking about his movie by putting that light in your face.
Apparently.
Yeah,
Hey, after that, watching that movie, you know what? I'm a Christian again.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
I'm a Muslim, and I'm staying that way.
I know Thanksgiving's over, but it's like I am thankful for one thing, to finally get a good fucking Spider-Man movie. Because, yes, I'll spoil what I feel about this. I love this fucking movie. We'll get into numeric ratings at the end of our review and everything, but I fucking love this goddamn thing. To the point where, like, this guy, I even like him now. I can't wait for Doctor Strange fucking Multiverse of Madness at this point. But here's the thing, man. I don't even know where to fucking start with this, but if you guys are curious, because there's a narrative when it comes to Chat Attack. We've been reviewing shit since fucking 2015, and I've hated most of Marvel stuff, including like Far From Home. I can't stand that fucking movie. Homecoming I liked in the beginning, but it was actually not that bad. But at the same time, like, you know, retroactively watching stuff, one thing I really did not like about the Spider-Man movies, the new ones, is that they're not about Spider-Man. There's never about Peter Parker. It's about Iron Man, then it's about, you know, Mysterio, but yeah, his story is about Iron Man. And then I saw the trailer for No Way Home, and I'm like, wow, this is going to be about fucking, you know, Doctor Strange. It's always about somebody else. And I've always wanted, you know, Tom Holland to be a Peter Parker that, like, we can actually enjoy because of himself, not because of somebody else. And I was so not looking forward to this movie until I watched a bootleg. I watched a bootleg on, I believe, Wednesday night. And I fucking loved everything I saw, like, instantly. I was like, holy shit, I don't want to watch any more of this because I want to watch it, like, in a theater. And I saw that on Friday. The thing is, though, I'm going to go around the table for a second here. Jed, I'm going to ask you, because you didn't like Far From Home either. Were you hyped about No Way Home, or you're like, I'm going to watch it because we have to?
I was very indifferent because, like I said before, after was it Far From Home, I was just like, I'm not liking this, like, at all. Like, that movie had a lot of problems that I was just like, I didn't get any enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, and then, you know, Ganja, I'm going to ask you, man. I mean, you like your Spider-Man quite a bit, but, like, did you like Far From Home? I can't remember.
Yeah, I like Far From Home.
Okay.
I enjoyed certain aspects of it, but I did feel like it was very heavy on Tony Stark as well as certain aspects of it, but it was an enjoyable Spider-Man for me.
Yeah, and then, Mr. Shakazine, what'd you feel about, you know, before watching this? Because you didn't see any trailer footage. You stayed away. You wanted no spoilers, and by the way, they trailer spoilers a lot. So,
yeah. Also, your boy also spoiled some stuff for him accidentally, like I did
accidentally.
Last night.
This man was reading the script off at one point during the conversation. I'm like, motherfucker, I'll kill you.
Okay, that's not cool, Ganja.
No, he's kidding. But like, it was one of those things where I mean, I'm setting shit up. I'm not like, Homecoming is all right, is an average movie, and I hated Far From Home. I'm like, this is not a great movie. So when No Way Home is coming out, I'm like, look, I'll stay away from it because Sony loves to spoil Spider-Man shit in the trailer. But as it, like, I was excited, but then as it started creeping closer and closer, I'm like, I don't know why. I just, like, between all of my friends being excited for it, the whole world being excited for it, it's just like, you know what? Let's see what this is. Maybe it'll finally be the Spider-Man movie I've always wanted. And as I was getting through the movie, I was starting to get hyped up. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. It's been such a long time since I see the Spider-Man movie.
He broke the last night before we went to go see it. He's like, all right, tell me some stuff and don't tell me stuff. So I had to create these word jargons to describe stuff in the movie, but that's not going to be in the movie. Like that would be cool if it was
Just
in
tell
the
me
movie.
if you like it. That's it. That's all I want. Okay. I'm like, okay, good. And then I started to get myself hyped up. So I'm in the theater. I'm like, okay, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Let's see what this is. Because again, I've not been a huge fan of the MCU Spider-Man. So I was like kind of like in between. But once I got to the theater, I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Give me something.
Yeah, man. And so here's the biggest thing for me that I want to bring up is like, there's a reason why this movie's good, and I'm just gonna say it. And I don't give a fuck if anyone disagrees with me. I have such a long. I can talk about it for an hour of why this movie is good on someone else's merit. This movie was stolen from Into the Spider-Verse. I think that that's the only reason. Like, this wasn't the plan that they were going for, and they saw Spider-Verse and like, that's great. Let's take the blackout and let's make this fucking movie. And it was like, I mean, it worked, and I'm glad they did it. But like, I feel like, yeah, like MCU, they're not that great with storytelling, and you would imagine that like, oh, okay, well, this thing kind of works in universe without the other stuff that happened, like with Iron Man and like, you know, the snap and all that stuff. But honestly, like, I don't feel like you had to watch Far From Home or Endgame or any of that shit to enjoy this movie, because if you just are into Spider-Man, you finally have a movie that's good because of Spider-Man, and not because of the MCU. I hate that this movie is considered part of the MCU because it's leaps and bounds better than it.
It's strange you say that because I kind of agree with you. Like, having the conversation, I'm like, oh yeah, this is an MCU movie. It doesn't feel like an MCU movie because, like, you watch Far From Home and Homecoming because obviously Iron Man is heavily involved. It feels like an MCU movie. Outside of Doctor Strange, this really doesn't feel like an MCU movie. It feels like a issue of Spider-Man that you would read in any given Spider-Man run, and that was one of the things that I really enjoyed about it. You can tell I enjoy it because I threw my fucking voice out, like screaming in the theater. My voice is fucked up because of it, because of how much like it was so focused on the Spider-Man mythos. It rewarded you for like sticking with the MCU Spider-Man, but also all the Spider-Mans, but it also gave you interesting stuff about the characters that it moved on from. It did everything a movie should do when it's building a character.
And the biggest thing about this too, so I'm going to start off with Jet really quick, but the big thing about this is like, okay, well, how good are these characters versus like what they have been in the past? One of the characters I gotta say that I loved a lot more here than I've seen in anywhere else is literally Doc Ock. I think Doc Ock is he's one of the best characters in this movie, and there's a lot of great characters, so I'm gonna say that a lot, and I'll tell you eventually who was like decisively the best. But I feel like in Spider-Man 2, I liked him in there, and I liked the movie itself, but I like it for a lot of reasons. Not even on the top 5 of those reasons will be Doc Ock, but in this movie, Doc Ock is fucking great, and I'm like, wow, dude, like, it almost makes me want to go and watch Spider-Man 2 again, and that's going to be the case for a lot of these things. But, like, Jed, I'm going to ask you really quick, how'd you feel about some of these characters, and was there any characters that stood out more so in this movie than they did originally in the movies that they, you know, originated from?
Oh, well, the obvious one is Electro.
Yeah, like, so I don't know much
I feel like
about
I
him.
feel like he's done better in this movie.
In what sense, by the way, too? Like, is it just design or character, or, like, Jamie Foxx's acting, or, like, is it everything?
Oh, literally everything.
Yeah, Cedric agrees with you. He's like, thank you, Jay. Yeah. So I think Jamie Foxx is funny here and everything too, but like I don't remember him much in Amazing Spider-Man, and I think that that's like, because for one, I didn't watch any of those movies all the way through.
He had a comb over and gapped ass teeth, and I think he was also blue.
And the biggest thing about that too, yeah, he was blue. But the biggest thing about this too is like I enjoyed that that's still like what happened in Amazing Spider-Man still happened in this universe. Like nothing was really retconned. That's something that's so appreciative, or I'm so appreciative of them doing, because it's like you can still watch Amazing Spider-Man and everything. You're still rewarded watching this movie by watching the other one, because even Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man starts, and yes, he's in this movie, but like, you know, he even brings up stuff like, no, he was a cool guy, he was nice, he was nerdy, he was a sweet dude, and it sucks that he's like this, and we've got to help him. And it was like, wow, like everything works together, and it was a really cool concept of that happening. But Gondra, I'm gonna ask you next, man. Like, is there a character that you think was done a lot better here than the original form?
I think a lot of them got a good touch up. Many of the villains really did get a really good chance to shine in this. I think for a lot of the old films, they kind of went through the number in terms of like, you got to get these beat to beat superhero stories done. You have to have the villain, you have to have the big battle on top of a large event. And I think this one really gave a chance to have more personal interactions with the villains. That moment where you're just talking to them in the sanctum, or honestly at that point their laundry room, and They're interacting with each other. The villains are showing how much they know each other. It's just building the world bigger than just the MCU universe and showing you that yes, these characters do know each other's interaction. It makes these single story movies bigger now because the universe it moved a little bit to a certain extent. The Sam Raimi films, if you watch those now and then watch this, you realize, oh, that's really is a continuous universe. Same thing with the Amazing Spider-Man stuff. So it gives them continuity without having to go back and retcon a lot of shit.
And it makes sense within there because they're having the conversations, and it's not like I know you from this. It's like, no, hey, you're Oscorp. You're an incredibly famous fucking scientist. Oh, by the way, you're Doc Ock. I kind of know you. You're failed, but I still kind of know you. And then you have the one guy who's a criminal. It's like, yeah, I saw you both die on the goddamn news. And then same conversations happening with those guys. It's like everyone kind of knows each other, but it's not a situation where it's like, oh, I'm directly connected to you. It's like, no, I heard about you because the news exists. And it made a lot of sense because sometimes you have that retcon where it's like, wait, you were brothers the whole time or some stupid shit. It's like, no. Again, news media exists.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing I really like about this too, where like, because I mean, and people are already saying this in the chat, so I guess I'll get into this question, then you can answer the other question I asked everybody else, Ali. But like, Andrew Garfield, people are saying he's the best character. Jet said this originally to me. The first person who said this was Jet. And I was kind of like, okay, well, Jet's probably just being different or whatever. I don't know. But then I watched the movie and I was like, oh my God, I see it too. I'm wondering if other people can see it. And it seems like everybody is in agreement of this. Who do you think was the best character in the movie? And do you see why people are saying that as Andrew Garfield?
Andrew Garfield's my favorite, but I don't think he's the best. I think that the reason he's my favorite is because they gave him such a beautiful redemption where it's like, yeah, his movies fucking suck. I mean, I still have, like, I could go on a rant at any given moment how much I hate the first Amazing Spider-Man. But it's not Andrew Garfield's fault, clearly, because we fucking proved it in this movie. But in all honesty, Tobey Maguire, like, he just comes in and he came in and I was so happy. I'm like, oh, he's here. Wait, why is he not in the suit? Oh, he's probably retired. He's living a good life. I hope he's living a good life. Like, I was so invested in that character. And then he comes in and he's helping them out. He's like the older brother or the father to these two people. And he's trying to help them in their own way. Like, he walked, he's telling Andrew Garfield, it's okay, man. You're amazing. You did all this cool shit. You're a great guy.
By the way, what he's going for, right?
I know what he's going for, but I liked it. And then
that discussion wasn't Tobey talking to Andrew. That was the actor, Tobey Maguire, talking to the actor, Andrew Garfield. Hey man, don't let those haters hate on your movie. You good. That's why you here, all right? You wouldn't be in the MCU if you weren't fucking amazing, bro. You Spider-Man too.
He fucking picked him up and he's like, he breathed fresh air into him. But then
we know it was Sony's creative team that was fucking you up.
Shit. Tick, boom.
Oh, you motherfucker. God damn it. I have two of my buddies.
That's a musical, by the way.
I know. No. No. You want it worse? It was the dude that made Rent.
Oh, well then there you go.
It's a musical about the dude that made Rent. Oh, I was so mad because my buddies are almost like tricked me into watching it. I'm like, no, I fucking hate Rent.
James saying good. He's saying it's good. Whatever. So we'll see. But no, man. But like, I don't know why my alerts are not working like on screen here. Jesus Christ. There's always a.
I do want to touch on one thing because I do disagree with Alan and I do agree with Jen on this. I think Andrew Garfield does have the most solid wrap up. Besides the main, in terms of like side stories and side characters that are having their interactions and trying to have their final moment in the sun, I think besides the one fact of like them just trying to cheer up the character, also cheer up people that are fans of the series, that it's okay, your guys are just as part and more important as the Spider-Man universe. But I think what he does when you start coming into the emotional stuff and the way he appears. And his interaction with the Tom Holland character, especially after losing Aunt May, which, they got this as a spoiler fucking review.
Really quick, so Ryan, that's a big one. And you know what? I'm going to play the alert for that because that's a big thing. I want you to see the alert that popped up. But 1500 minutes is Spectacular Spider-Man Season 1.
Okay.
Thank you so much. But we're going to play the alert for that in a little bit. But go ahead, Alan.
I was going to say, I don't normally join on the TV shit because of my time. I'm joining on that one. Because I've never watched it, and one of the reasons I never watched it is because I was told it got canceled. But you tell me it still wraps up decently enough, even though it's only 2 seasons. I think that theme song is up there with the '90s Spider-Man theme. Yeah, so it's like fuck yeah.
Really? Okay. Is this the one with Robert Englund as the Vulture? Because I like them Freddy Kruegers.
I'm not sure.
I like them Freddy Kruegers.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, thank you so much for that, Ryan. I'll pull that up in a little bit. Because like it is one of those things where I don't want people to donate so much and not get everything that they get for it. So yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, dude. So like the thing is though too, well, I know we're like really sticking on the Spider-Man thing, but like here's the biggest part about this, because I agree, Andrew Garfield's my favorite. But I totally see where you're coming from with Tobey Maguire. I nerd out the most.
But even when he talks to Tom Holland and he helps, like the reason I say he's the best is because he's helping both those characters really like complete their arcs, because his arc is essentially done, because he doesn't really necessarily need to grow in this movie. His arc's already completed, and he's helping these two younger versions of himself.
Well, his dialogue about MJ pretty much hints to that.
Yeah.
And that's why I liked it, because when he helps Tom Holland, is like, to me, it's like that's what I wanted out of necessarily an Iron Man, or even what we thought was going to be Doctor Strange being his mentor. You have Spider-Man being his mentor, so you nailed it on the head that the fucking this is just Into the Spider-Verse live action. But one of the things that I wish what happened in Into Spider-Verse, I wish the Ultimate Spider-Man, the Chris Pine Spider-Man you meet, I wish he actually trained Miles. That would have been great, because we would have got to see at his prime. But you get basically Tobey Maguire, who's retired and is teaching him. So every time I think of my favorite season of the movie, Tobey Maguire just pops up.
Yeah, which is so cool. But then this is where I'm going to go into a thing that I don't see a lot of people doing, and I understand why not. So and I'm not being a contrarian. It's just something that I feel like needs to be said so they can learn. And hopefully a Marvel guy will watch some of these reviews that say what I'm about to say. But like Tom Holland, this is how you fucking do it. I love Tom Holland. Oh yes. Oh no, not the dance though. That's fucking awful. No, dude. Like I love Tom Holland in this. He's panicked throughout the whole fucking thing, but like not like silly Shia LaBeouf Transformers panic. It's like legitimate panic. I love that, like his crying scenes, dude. Like they're legitimately good. Like he's fucking like please, like well, we can say spoilers. The Aunt May thing, dude. Like
oh my god,
that was such a necessary death. I feel like to build the character, and also for Tom Holland to show how good of a fucking actor he is. He's a great actor.
That interaction where he's like, "I shouldn't have helped them. Fuck them. This is all my fault." She goes, "No, no," and then she drops the iconic fucking line, "With great power comes great responsibility."
That's the best usage of that line.
But I knew she was dead after that. I fucking knew it.
No,
anyone who tells him that shit dies.
Yeah.
The thing is when. The reason I like that is because like Sam Raimi did really well, because it was like 40 minutes into the movie and we already saw him abusing his power. The reason this works here as well is because he doesn't want to take responsibility anymore. He's like the whole movie. He's like, I don't want to deal with this shit. That is not my problem. That is not my. He says
the whole problem of the movie is him not accepting responsibility for anything.
Exactly, and he's like, I'm not doing this. And the movie's like, he tries to step up. And he's like, he basically is like, hey, I tried my best. Like, no. With great power, it was almost a situation where if you've never seen a Spider-Man movie, it would make sense to you. Because like if you've been a fan of Spider-Man, you know that it is a titular part of his character. With great power comes great responsibility. But the movie almost sets it up that it almost feels organic, like the movie created it.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, where it's like, hey, no, you have great power. And you know what happens with that? You have great responsibility. I'm like, oh shit, that fits so well. And then when she stumbles, I'm like, no, don't you do that. Don't you fucking do that. Even Penelope's getting upset. It's like, don't you fucking do that. I was like, no. This is the MCU. Nobody dies in the MCU unless they save the universe. Come on, get back up. But nah.
Alan was there with fucking Peter. Come on, man. Open your eyes. Open your eyes.
Look, I'll be real. When Iron Man died, I was like, man, that's a shame. Iron Man died. Hold me.
Yeah, dude. No, it fucking like that was one of those things. Like, I was very, very like emotionally like, oh fuck, that's heavy, but I wasn't crying. But then my mom saw this with me, and so here's the thing when it comes to Marvel movies. Me, I'm very cynical. I'm aware people like keep telling me like I don't know that like I come across as a contrarian. I know I don't like the shit that you guys like. I'm sorry, but like I'm a fucking adult, so this is why I don't like some of the shit. But my mom can still cry at like commercials for shit. Like, oh, it's so beautiful that song. Like
the Charmin also commercial.
Yeah, she's really easily moved by shit. And like even in movies, like if they play like any death in The Walking Dead, she'll cry her ass off just because they play a violin. Why he's dead. That shit. So with Endgame, I remember my mom did not react to anything. She was like, who gives a fuck? Iron Man's dead. Like, can you please go home? Like, this fucking sucks. Like, and she was, but in Infinity War, she cried a couple times, even the Gamora thing. You know what I mean? Like, it was a bunch of shit. So, like, and she was laughing, by the way, at that Hawkeye versus Black Widow fight where Black Widow dies.
Bro.
She was literally laughing. Like,
that's one of those. It's a joke.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And everyone's like, oh, that emotional scene. Emotional? That's fucking like Three Stooges. That's fucking.
As if the emotion is laughter. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, oh, we gotta sacrifice. One of us has to sacrifice ourselves, so we're gonna fight to see who does it, and then fires a grenade.
Yeah.
Like I want the scene where they both kill each other and nothing happens, and like they fail the mission.
And then the fucking watcher shit. There is just like, I mean, what am I supposed to do? Usually, I have to clean up one body. What the fuck?
No, but there is a bunch of shit like that where, like, you know, these movies, I like to watch these with my mom because I'm like, oh, this is how a person reacts, and I'm a cynical robot, evil, heartless fuck, so I can kind of gauge, like, if this is effective. Now, with this movie, my mom was crying, like, 3 times, dude. And she doesn't love these characters. She was, like, crying, like, or not crying, but, like, just emotional, like, with MJ and Peter's dialogue at certain things. Mm-hmm. You know, when Willem Dafoe's like, oh, fuck, I'm crazy. Which Willem Dafoe fucking did amazing in this.
That motherfucker brought Pacino, Jack, and Jill energy to this.
Yes. Yes. Oh, so good. I like how Allie's just like, yeah, bro. Jack and Jill, dog.
No, but the level of energy William Dafoe brings, because I was like, it's William Dafoe. He's going to ham it up. He's going to try to be like either Heath Ledger's Joker or low-key and be the funny guy. But he was menacing. Because like between him and Doc Ock, I don't know who's my favorite. But like when he comes in and he is like, I don't want to do this. He comes out. I'm like, I felt so bad for him because like they make him look homeless. And he's like taking the donuts and shit. I'm like, I was like, man, I feel bad for him. But then when he twists and he just gets that smile and bro, they abused Tom Holland so much in this movie.
That ass whooping, he delivers that boy.
No, because the first time I started screaming and enjoyed it was, look, anyone that's ever known me, for decades, I have been yelling that I think the Iron Spider is fucking stupid. I think the Iron Spider is the dumbest thing that's ever been added to Spider-Man. It is lame. It is like someone goes, oh, spiders have 8 legs, but he only has 4. What if I just gave him extra tentacles? Therefore, he is a spider. Fucking stupid. This dude's supposed
more
to be
lame than actually turn into a half-human spider?
No, because that's horrifying in body horror, so you can at least roll with that. This is like, why the fuck are you doing this? This dude's supposed to be a regular fucking like kid with powers. No, he has a $1 billion suit, and I always hate the Iron Spider. I always felt it was stupid. But when he fights Doc Ock and they're going toe to toe, I'm like, yo, this is fucking perfectly matched. And the choreography, the way it was actually
the camera, dude,
the camera, bro, that shit was amazing. And it was almost stalemating. I'm like, you managed to get this overpowered device and found someone to stalemate it. I'm like, okay, this is fucking amazing.
And things that remind me of, by the way, too, is like, because I mean, there's always like that, not midpoint, but like right before midpoint action scene where like a movie tries to tell you, hey, we're gonna be good, by the way, so like stick with us. Terminator does that, Terminator 2. Deadpool does that, that freeway scene, whatever. But like, it's always like in the middle of the day action scene that has some stakes, but not really a lot of stakes. But like, there's just enough happening where it's like, okay, this is gonna be used for the trailer. This is gonna be used for a lot of shit. They got so much in that trailer from that one scene, and that scene's not even like the top 4 best part. To the point where I'm like, yeah, the trailer spoils stuff, but as far as like showing you the good parts in the movie, I felt completely like the movie gave me more than what was advertised. Like, what I mean? I didn't feel like I was gypped by watching trailers or previews. And I thought that was awesome for the movie to pull off because that's really hard to do. Like,
I got to figure out what that air was that punched, the lizard in the trailer.
Yo, yeah.
You know what it was? They just edited out the Spider-Man. They released him and edited him out. They did the fucking cloning tool and just kind of like watched him over. So he still got hit, but it was supposed to. Was it Andrew Garfield?
Oh,
yes, Andrew Garfield.
By the way, just so you guys know, this is how new. Like, he really stayed away from trailer because like this talk we've had without you like a month ago or a month and a half ago.
Oh, but, did you? Okay.
Yeah, because everyone already knows. But the thing is, like, that proves to you guys how much Alan took the series. He's like, I'm not watching nothing. I want to hear no discussions about it. Leave me the fuck alone. So this is new to him. Like, oh shit, that one part where they edit out the guys.
I think because I want to take this back to like a kind of a base thing because this is something that was different in a lot of Spider-Man movies that you don't really get to see unless for the sequel iterations. But there was a lot of consequences in this film. One of the things that Alan talked about was the whole premise and plot of this film is really driven by the fact that he doesn't want to make a choice and he doesn't want to handle the consequences of him being a superhero or him having these different connections or these people knowing him for his powers. The whole thing of them getting blacklisted from colleges literally kicks off to what any kind of teenager that's having a fucking anxiety attack will go to their most quote unquote adult person they know and ask for help. Without thinking about how they can fix the problem themselves, they would just go to their adult figure. He doesn't have Tony Stark anymore. So who does he go to? The magical daddy. And I love that exchange between him and Doctor Strange where he's like, wait, you never bothered talking to these colleges? Yeah, you didn't bother hitting anybody up? You just came straight to me and my magic?
And it's a surface level discussion where it's like, I would have this talk with Alan.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And we have these talk with each other.
Oh no, I get that, and I've gone nuclear when it's a simple conversation would fix the problem. The problem is Doctor Strange is a fucking. I'm sorry, like that's the only problem I have with this movie. I think this movie has so much going on for it. It's firing on all cylinders, but Doctor Strange is the stupidest fucker in this movie.
Wait, how
Bro.
the fuck are you? What?
Oh, hey, how can I solve this problem? Oh, I'm going to use this incredibly dangerous thing. Oh, don't worry, we used it for parlor tricks beforehand. But I'm going to listen because the kid got kind of sad. Like, fuck off, kid. Like, what the
Well,
fuck's
he's
wrong
helping the
with you?
kid out because he owes him one. Like he literally brought him back. He brought him back from the dead to a certain extent.
I think what would have worked better in this movie is if okay, I think what would have worked better in this movie is Doctor Strange says, "No, you're a fucking idiot," kicks him out. Spider-Man sneaks in and steals one of the books with the spell. And he tries to do the spell himself, but because he's stupid, he fucks it up. Or Ned tries to do some, or he finds somebody else
That'd be too
and keeps
predictable.
somebody
That'd
else.
be stupid.
But the
I
problem
hate
is
that.
Doctor Strange is supposed to be, you know, almost a sorcerer's supreme, but he
Well,
lost.
he's what the thing is the way he's using his magic. He essentially does wishes to a certain extent. So when he was focusing on changing the universe, when Spider-Man just kept running his goddamn mouth through that whole spell, he was adding incantations to the spell. That's why he kept telling him to be quiet, stop. You're fucking up the energy of the spell. Because he kept adding more to it that he couldn't control. And that's why Spider-Man is the real catalyst to it, because the joke and throwaway of like, oh, we did it as a parlor trick is to show him how powerful a wizard he is, as well as to show we've done this trick before. This trick is very easy to pull off to a certain extent. But when you have someone that actively pretty much like you're trying to make a cake, and motherfucker's like, yo, I want some caramel on it. I want some hazelnut. I want some Parmesan.
Some hazelnut.
Man,
What the fuck is
fucking
hazelnut?
put some
He also
fucking
said
tomato
making
sauce.
a cake. Who puts Parmesan on a cake?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's how much he fucked the recipe up. He's like,
But-
he asked him for a simple thing, and that's how magic works. Simple thing. One go. Do it. Everyone's going to forget your Spider-Man. And then he started adding up other shit, started talking about some other shit. So he's trying to focus on the spell. Like, I really don't think this is Doctor Strange's fault. I think Doctor Strange is child as fuck in the beginning when he comes down in his robe, wearing that little like Gucci sweater and shit with his coffee mug. Like, man, fuck my boss. We gonna do this shit, Spider-Man.
No, see,
But he's always kind of had that relationship with Spider-Man.
I see. The thing is, I kind of agree with you because the only reason it doesn't bother me as much because I think the premise is stupid, but it also leads into the fact that, like, again, he didn't take responsibility. His thought was, "Let me go have Daddy solve my problems. I don't want to solve my problems, so Dad can do it." And then that just fucks up everything because he doesn't even necessarily how to solve his own problems. But it was still a sticking point because I'm like, Doctor Strange, like, you're supposed to be a pretty, like, you know, you're an asshole. You're a bigger asshole than Iron Man is. But you're always supposed to be kind of like, you know what you're doing. And just seeing him so blatantly do that and fuck it up that hard, I'm like, y'all created the multiverse because this dude, yeah.
I also want to answer your question. I'm also going to answer Viper Fox question. This kind of does touch into why we get a trailer for the next Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah.
And that reveal towards the end is, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but me and Nice did. When he was doing certain magics that was for his own selfish need or his own self-righteousness of keeping the universe balanced, he had got a dark tone in his eyes. We would call that the eyeliner moment. And if you look at what comes later in the film after the first little teaser trailer for what's going to be in the next one, it makes full sense. Like, there's even a line that is a reference to what we're going to see in terms of how the difference between how Doctor Strange handles certain things and how Spider-Man handles certain things. Like, Viper Fox is right. He would have asked all those questions if he gave a fuck. He didn't give a fuck. He got asked to do this one job. He didn't think about anything else. He just was like, we're going to make everyone forget you're fucking Spider-Man. And then Peter started adding the emotion to it. And he does it again when he's like, well, it's their fate, Peter. I'm going to fucking yank these motherfuckers out of the universe. And he goes to Doctor Strange. He goes, Doctor Strange, have a heart. If you guys have been watching the What If universe, what was the name of the episode with Doctor Strange?
It was the 4th episode, but I don't remember what it was called.
It was Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange loses his heart instead of his hands.
Oh.
And that leads into evil Doctor Strange.
I actually did not know that.
Yeah, the what ifs are not, the what if have their moments, but it is one of those things where it's like, I get, like, the thing is, I completely agree with you. And honestly, after you explaining it, it lowers my anger a little because it fits with the movie of whole Peter does not know how to take responsibility for his own actions. So he sits there and it almost makes Homecoming a better movie because every single time he fucks up, he goes to Daddy.
Yep.
Every single time he doesn't know how to take responsibility. That's why I feel the whole great power comes with great responsibility. As much as I would have preferred it earlier on, it's natural in this movie because he spends the whole time avoiding responsibility, making sure that, like, he doesn't know how to take anything for what's going on. I just still think it's contrived. I think it's like, it'd be the equivalent of, hey, Nick, can you, like, I slept in. Can you drive me to work? Oh, sure. but then we accidentally drive off a bridge and kill a family of 4. It's like,
well, you want to make a quick turn into McDonald's real quick.
like it's too much for too little. That's I think it's too much for too little. And I think like I don't necessarily that would have fixed it. Maybe having Peter just kind of like break in and just. But then again, I don't know.
Well, that overkill's there for a reason because he went to Daddy again.
Yeah.
He didn't try to solve his own issue. He went to a daddy that, one, doesn't have the same kind of idea of heroes as him, and two, we've established Doctor Strange don't give a fuck. He killed himself to get a good outcome. Have we forgot this?
Yeah, Infinity War.
He doesn't give a fuck about human life.
Yeah. Because he has a bigger.
Because he sacrificed the universe to get a single shot. But then again, 14 million ways. You only saw one. Why not shooting Thanos with like a really big gun?
Because when it worked, he
those
like
people that died in the
really big gun, like the BFG 9000, and we just fired at him.
Like legit, the people that died in that blip. Yeah, Thanos killed them, but Doctor Strange knew they had to die. That's a way big difference. That's a way big difference that he was willing to accept that shit for 5 years.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? Okay, you know what? You convinced me. Like mid-review, you have convinced me to change like my hatred towards it, because it did bother me, but the movie itself after.
Plus, you gotta also think of the sequel movie that's coming.
Yeah.
True. Oh, one of my favorite things in literature is we solved the problem, but we did it badly.
Yeah.
Like we solved the problem, but we didn't do it right. So now we have more problems as a result of that.
I hate that shit too.
Nick, it's literally The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
we solved the problem, we did it shittily.
Yeah, but then that makes us both look stupid, because then it's like, okay, well, if you like that and things, but then it doesn't Walking Dead, then why don't you like Walking Dead? See what I'm saying?
Because The Walking Dead sucks. This movie's good.
Ooh, yeah. This is why. By the way, I love when Allie always does this for me. Once again, this is why nerds are bullied. Thank you.
Look, some of The Walking Dead.
If we were in school right now, this is where I dump you upside down because I can, because bullies.
And this is where I tell you I like it. You go, ugh, drop me.
Yeah. Anyways, no, but here's the thing, though, man. I feel like because like that whole thing with Doctor Strange, like I'm just gonna say really quick too, because I know that you guys went back and forth on that a lot. So I want to throw this to me and Jet. I will say that I love Doctor Strange in this, but the biggest thing I like about this too is that this movie wasn't it had very, very little to do with Doctor Strange. He was in here doing cool shit, yes, but they were able to get that motherfucker out quickly, and he was gone for a big part of the movie. And Jed, I'm gonna ask you too, what'd you think about Doctor Strange pretty much exiting the movie so quickly? Do you think that was a good thing for the movie, or were you just I kind of wish I could see more of his shit because it's so crazy and magical, etc., etc.?
I preferred him being out of the movie as much as they did, because the problem with the earlier Spider-Mans, once again, it wasn't about Tom Holland. It was about the other people in his movie. So therefore, I didn't really mind him actually leaving the movie, because we actually needed more of Spider-Man.
Yeah, and then the biggest thing, too, is, do you feel like this movie won you over as far as watching the next Doctor Strange movie? Does this movie, earn credit for the next one? Or you're like, well, I mean, no, they're separate.
Depends on who's riding it.
That's true, because I actually do not know who's writing the new one. Is it Robert Cargill, Double Toasted?
I don't know, but I actually do kind of agree with Jed. The whole thing of the Iron Man was too much in the movie, even in the second one when he wasn't there, but they still kept referencing it. And so I like Doctor Strange. I think his power set's incredible, and I think every time he's on screen, they get to do visually. They're like the CG budget. Okay, we're pouring $1 billion into this one shot. Because they always do cool shit. It's I love Inception. So when the fucking buildings are folding over each other, that shit's cool as hell. So every time Doctor Strange shows up, it's I'm gonna be the most dramatic person in the world, and I love it. It was so much fun.
Yeah. Now getting into we talked about death already. We talked about all this other stuff. I do want to talk about the fucking aspect of certain things. Because this is a big overarching story to the point where everyone's forgetting Spider-Man. You know what I mean? These weird spells and whatnot.
Yeah.
When we're watching this with Allison, it got to a point where we're a little not necessarily super confused, because if there's gonna be things that are off, it's a movie, especially a Marvel movie, so things are just gonna be whatever. But I remember Allison was constantly challenging things what? So does Iron Man forget, or why aren't other different Avengers coming in? Why aren't we getting Earth 2 Iron Man, or why aren't we getting all this other shit? Did that bother you at all, Allie? Do you think that we should have had an Iron Man or a Black Panther or somebody who's died, or maybe Thanos, one of the bad guys over there, or something like that?
Well, the thing is the reason that works out is because they know who he is, but they're trying to kill him. Like Iron Man is dead and he's universe dead. Like he ain't coming back. But like Black Panther's like, oh hey, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, hey, whatever. But like remember, everyone was going after him and trying to fuck him up. The reason that didn't bother me is because let's say Black Widow's dead. Hawkeye. He's like halfway, he's firing arrows at Kate Bishop. Oh yeah, Spider-Man. He doesn't give a shit. The spell doesn't attract them. It just makes everyone know who Spider-Man is. So that's why the villains are like, no, we want to fuck this guy up. We're trying to find Spider-Man to kill him because we now know who he is.
But I thought it was strange because to Allison's point is like I felt like it was odd that like Avengers knows when something's going on all the fucking time. And by the way, there's another thing that's very problematic with Eternals, where they're just sitting upstairs like in the clouds on their couch, like, whoa, that seems like that's a problem. Hope they fucking figure it out. You know what I mean? And that's the problem with so many overarching stories because Hawkeye's happening right now and all this other shit's going on. So I was like, there's too many stories. So they start kind of like bumping into each other. Oh, you're fucking stupid. And one of those things that's fucking stupid is that, like, where's Captain America or the Falcon? Where's, Nick Fury's on his way back. We saw that at the end of WandaVision, I believe, or something. I forgot what we saw that at the end of. But, like, they're wondering what the fuck's going on with Nick Fury. There's a lot of... Oh, no, it's Far From Home. It was actually a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
So, like, why couldn't Nick Fury send somebody down to help out or help out Doctor Strange? Or, you know what I mean? Like, it's very odd.
If you would go to like Far From Home or Homecoming, that's honestly been the biggest kind of common complaint. It's like, hey, why not call the Avengers every single time it happens? But it's more
Spider-Man is an Avenger technically, right? Like,
yeah. The reason so in other movies they always try to write off, oh, they're in space, or they're whatever. It works out here because as far as everyone's concerned, the Avengers are kind of over. Like the Avengers, it was like a band, like the Motley Crue. It's like, hey, they had this big run. And after the universe got saved, they kind of just went to do their own thing. Like Hawkeye's still in the middle of doing his shit. Captain Marvel's busy doing whatever.
Yeah, Hawkeye even mentioned it when Kate Upton's like, "Oh, are we gonna go to Avenger Tower?" Nah, that motherfucker sold that shit 5 years ago.
Oh, you're right. You said Kate Upton?
Bishop.
Yeah.
Oh, I said Kate. I'm sticking when I said Kate Upton. I said Kate. I'm locking that answer.
Isn't that crazy when Kate Beckinsale was like,
Yo, I'm so glad you kept that. Man, that's teamwork, son. That's teamwork.
But yeah, dude.
I know I'm fucked up, Cedric. I know.
I didn't know anyone was gonna even like respond to that too. I was gonna be like, yeah, fuck it, Kate Upton.
I'm like, Kate Upton?
Oh shit, man! I forgot who Kate Upton actually is too. But like now she's a fucking one of the Marvel characters.
I don't remember who that is either. I just thought that was the name. I know that's a famous actress.
But
shout out to Brittany Murphy and Hawkeye.
But but people saying it's not necessarily a Avengers level threat, but it's like, what is an Avengers level threat? Because that's kind of like, if it's called an Avengers movie, that's what it is. But something that always bothers me, people, and I'm gonna call y'all out. Fuck y'all. Everyone's like, why not call the Avengers in? Why not call the Avengers in? Because then you'd call it an Avengers movie. You know how I know that? Because the best MCU movie is Civil War. It is a Captain America movie that has most of the Avengers, but everyone's like, it's an Avengers movie. No, it's not. It is focused on Captain America and Captain America's arc throughout the entire fucking movie, but they just happen to have other people that are also Avengers in there. Because that's how comic books work. If you've ever read a comic book in your entire life, you go, oh, hey, Spider-Man. He walks up to Nick Fury and it just happens to be Iron Man in the background sipping a tea while talking shit to Captain America. Because these people exist. They're friends. They exist in the same universe.
Yeah, even Hawkeye's debut was in a Tales of Surprise comic, whatever. Like lots of people, it was like number 57 or something. But like, like they don't. Deep. Yeah, they don't start off like with their own shit, like, because you gotta keep in mind, people, this is a business, making comic books and shit too, so you can't have a dude like, hey, you can just have your own comic book, hopefully someone buys it. It's like, you gotta make sure that they have an audience first, so like, they gotta debut in an Iron Man thing, or and I said Tales of Surprise, it's Tales of Suspense, my bad.
Well, shit, Punisher debuted shooting at Spider-Man.
Yeah, you're right, and Daredevil and Kingpin too, right?
Mm-hmm. Take the MCU for example. The first time you see Hawkeye is in Thor 1.
No, it's not, because that's what I just said. Like,
no, in the MCU. No, in the MCU.
Oh, like the movie. Okay,
the movies.
I get Marvel and MCU confused.
It's all good. I didn't say it clearly enough. But yeah. The first time you see Hawkeye in the MCU, it's when Thor is going to get his hammer and he's beating the shit out of all the guards, and he has an air to him going, I'm kind of rooting for him. Like, that's the first time you ever see Hawkeye. He didn't get a Hawkeye movie. He'll never get a Hawkeye movie. But you got to see him through the introduction of another character. That's what happens all the time. So it's like them having Doctor Strange. I'm like, okay, that is enough, because sometimes it's only one person. Sometimes it's one or two people. So I don't mind that. But it's like, it's this weird balance because of the fact that you literally know where half these heroes live. But again, just like I was just saying, like he goes to his space daddy to be like, hey, can you help me the fuck out? Because
daddy.
dude, he goes on fucking Google Maps. I'm like, so is the sanctorium on Google Maps? Like he's just following his fucking map. I kind of bursted out laughing. I'm glad the movie didn't like zoom in. It just kind of had him doing that. I'm laughing in the theater because I'm like, do random people show up here too, or does like nobody know this place is his?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and unfortunately, because I'm not the best podcaster in the world, but I don't even know how to wrap things up, and I don't want to do a complete like scene by scene like I typically say. Mm-hmm. But I want to say that like fight scenes wise, and this is where it's all gonna matter. These fight scenes were fucking incredible.
William Dafoe whooped that ass.
I don't know what they did with the camera angles. I don't know what to do with the camera angles because I honestly think William Dafoe just wasn't taking his meds and just started beating the shit out of Tom Holland. They just filmed it. Because he is like, this is some wrestling shit. He is picking him up. He is punching him through fucking walls and shit. And going through the floor.
That scene where he jumps on him like fucking Alice from fucking Resident Evil and starts punching him. And he's just laughing and he's getting crazier with every fucking punch. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Bro.
This ain't no traditional Spider-Man shit.
Yeah. No, he's like, oh, you thought you could beat me because you saw Spider-Man 1? Punches him through the fucking, and I was like, oh, they're gonna do it once. No, they're going like up and down floors and shit. Tom Holland gets his ass kicked by William Dafoe so much. I was feeling so bad for Tom Holland. Like,
that power bomb.
Well, because it actually made sense. It made sense because like one of the things they do with these superhero movies that's really fucking annoying is like they try to make them like underdogs a little bit. But then I was like, well, in this situation, Green Goblin's so fucking good at beating his ass that I almost like, is Spider-Man gonna die? Like, I was like worried. I know he's not gonna die, but it's like one of those things where it's like, if he did die, it would make sense for those moments because he's really in charge of Peter. He's fucking him up. And I noticed that even later on too in that big crazy scene with like the Sandman and everything. It's like the stakes were always high. The stakes were so high.
Nick, that hotel scene, that motherfucker started doing Marvel vs. Capcom shit. Yeah. Where he started calling support characters halfway through the ass whooping.
Yeah.
Bro, there's so much again, there was so much good shit happening in that scene. But yeah, like you said, the emotion felt there because we're so used to it's one of the things that I honestly we said this last week before the movie came out. When I was discussing why I love fight scenes and why to me the idea of someone biting the dust isn't necessarily the end all be all is because of the fact that you want to see how they can win, but you also want to like you need to see how they're gonna do it. During that fight scene, you're like, you have no idea if Spider-Man's gonna win or not. You know he's probably gonna live, but you don't know if he's gonna win. And honestly, this is one of the few fight scenes I've seen in the MCU where I'm like, the hero's gonna lose really hard, like really fucking hard. And I'm like, I hope Tobey Maguire comes in and saves him because Goblin is more menacing here than he was in his own movie.
Yeah.
Like in his own movie, he was very like sympathetic towards Peter, but he's like, "Oh, you're not my Peter. I'm gonna fuck you up." And starts fucking murder. I'm like, "Yo, I feel so goddamn fucking bad." I'm like, somebody please help him. Somebody help this man out.
Well, actually, it kind of fits the character because I don't know if you remember the dynamic between the original Peter Parker that he faces off in the Sam Raimi series. He's trying to convert him to join him. Yeah. Because there's no superheroes in that series. Whereas this one, he already accepted. He's seen like, oh, this is his relationship with Aunt May. He's a goody two-shoe. He mentioned that he was watching stuff happen through Norman's cowardly eyes. That's the legit dialogue through the film. And it shows when Goblin appeared, he was not going to play with this kid. He was going to fuck his day up. Especially that he already healed Doc Ock. So that means he's an existential threat to the split personality that is the Goblin.
Yeah. But no, you're right. Like, and that's like one of the things about this too that I was like, this dialogue is very like it was villainous, but it was also like menacing. Like it was legitimately like, holy shit, like you're making me feel uneasy. Like I would be scared as fuck of this guy. And I will say too that like they even found a way to do it in reverse, where like when Peter goes off on him at the end, just punching him. They were the most like, and in wrestling terminology, it's throwing potatoes. He's giving him stiffs. And he was stiffing the fuck out of him to the point where I'm like, great camera work, great sound design. Oh my god, the sound design. Because
unless he was actually beating William Dafoe's ass.
Literally, it's like when they show William Dafoe afterwards, and I know it's a PG-13 movie, so they can't go this far. So this is why I'm not gonna lower my score because of this. But it's like the punches were so intense that if this was rated R, his face would be like, it could be all fucked up. You know what I mean? But like,
not necessarily, because the fact that it's like, I love that because I was like, oh, why is his face bloody? Oh, because this guy has like almost super soldier serum. And the face he gives, he goes, "Oh, I almost expected him to quote the Dark Knight of you have nothing to do with all that strength." That's what I was thinking the whole time when he's punching him and he's laughing. I'm getting Dark Knight vibes. Because all I can think of him saying, I hear his legend in the back going, laughing at him, going, "There's nothing you can do to me, nothing to threaten me with all your strength. You have nothing."
And to a point, can I bring in something with Dark Knight as well? I'm not even gonna be a dick with this, whatever. But it's like one of those things where it's like. Very much like, cause I just watched a scene recently where Joker's upside down. He's like, insane just needs one little push. And like this movie, essentially, Green Goblin's pushing a fuck us. Like he could have killed Peter way earlier on, but he's like, with the Aunt May thing, he's like, I want to fuck with your head. I want to get in there and fuck you up. Dude, he pushed Peter there. Like if it wasn't for Tobey Maguire, he would have killed him. He would have.
I believed he would have. And the thing is, what I loved about that scene is this is like to me, this is how you do. This is one of my favorite climaxes in an MCU movie because it is a typical thing of go to a big, monument and you see Captain America's shield with the Statue of Liberty, which makes fucking sense.
I feel like this was them trying to fix Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, actually, with the scaffolding and the Sandman even popping up. But one of the things I love is big action set piece. Everything's going on. Things are blowing up left and right. But what is the actual ending? A single hand-to-hand fight with two people.
Yeah.
This whole thing boils down to just a personal vendetta. And I loved it because it takes these gigantic scales and it brings them right back down to this is two people that are trying to kill each other.
And everybody, and the death of Aunt May, and the fights with everybody else, and the storylines of Andrew Garfield, and then MJ falling, and then Andrew Garfield picks up. All this is a pillar to hold up the main storyline. And that's how you build that shit. Like, because it's all about these two characters. And you can get lost in the sauce with all this bullshit going on. But whoever was writing, they were able to organize and just build the narrative and just everything's like this. I fucking like that's so important.
This shit felt like Metal Gear. To me, this shit felt like the end of Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah. So much.
Oh my god, you nailed
I was waiting for Anteater. I was waiting for Snake Eater to start singing in the background.
Yep.
Fucker, did you just say Anteater?
I said I be hanging out with Jet too much.
Fucker, the fuck? It's called Solid Ant. It's the entire Metal Gear Solid franchise.
God damn it,
Jet, we were talking to Ganja about, dog.
Yeah, why Anteaters?
I don't know, but I'll take it.
Because sometimes she posts those pictures of those anteaters making those faces.
Oh, the tapers.
Yes.
Jesus
Those aren't
Christ.
Anteaters is a huge difference.
This is what Jet does, guys. This is some weird shit. It's like
Jet is evil.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I can't believe I just did that.
there's so much conviction.
I'm as neutral as possible. It's up to y'all how basically y'all act around me.
By the way, Ganja, just to let you know and make you look dumber, you're trying to say Sneak Eater, and that's not even part 4, dog. That's part 3.
No, but
No, the song plays.
Oh, okay.
it's not played, yeah.
All right, gotcha. Asshole. Goddamn.
But again, it's one of my favorite things. The reason I love choreographed fight scenes is because, again, tell a story without using dialogue. You can get so much if you do it right, you can get so much emotion. And when you see Tom Holland's face, he's ready to kill. Like there's a situation where it's like obviously gonna be a conversation to make sure he does it, but he is ready to kill. And William Dafoe is laughing at him. So it's increasing his anger so much. And this is the first time you've really ever seen Tom Holland Spider-Man angry. You've seen him sad, you've seen him happy, you've seen him depressed. You've never really seen him angry. So during the fight, when they're having the conversation up there, oh my God, one of the best climaxes I've seen. Holy shit. But when you see those two kind of focus, that's why I focus so much on that, because I can see the emotion when they're fighting. I can see Spider-Man not pulling his punches. And you get to see a mix of both. You get to see how all these characters, even though they're played by completely different people, different writers, different studios, they all have that. Tom Holland embodies both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Because Andrew Garfield talks like, Gwen Stacy died and I got mad. I didn't pull back my punches. And then, Tobey Maguire's like, I chased him down. I got what I wanted. And now you're seeing
both of them into one,
into one character. But then you see, Tobey Maguire. That's why I say Tobey Maguire's the best character in the movie, because he's stopping. Because you see, they're two Spider-Man. They're both really strong, and he's like, "No, I'm here for you." He's not mad at him, like, "I'm here for you." And then when you see him put it down, he's like, he still wants to kill him, but he's like, he has to understand he can't go down that road, but he wants to.
And the biggest thing about that, Tobey Maguire gets stabbed, and I will say, like, I
screamed.
Our buddy 90s in the chat. It might have been him. I don't know. Maybe it was somebody else. But they're like, "Oh, he's still alive. He's fine." For me, and this is where, and this is the fun about watching. Like I brought this up with Jack and Jill and a bunch of other shit. But like, I love being in situations where I can be like in the kayfabe of the story and be like, "Oh my God, I believe everything's happening." Because like, it was so fun to get that feel in my stomach where I'm like, "Oh my God, they're gonna kill Tobey Maguire." There's some people that are cynical enough or just aware enough that they knew for sure he was gonna live or whatever. But like the fact that they killed Aunt May, and this is why it's so important because me and you have this argument a lot. I don't want to like go into technical about the argument we have, but like for me personally, a show or a movie and a villain, I think is important for them to kill people. And I know you disagree with that, but I think it is important to kill people because now the worst possible thing that can happen happened. So now the stakes are always high, where you don't have to kill anybody else. But the fact that I know that it could happen because I already seen it happen, I'm like, oh shit. And with this, we already saw Aunt May go. Watching this movie in the beginning, I didn't think we were going to see Aunt May go. And the fact that we did, now I'm like, dude, we could lose Andrew Garfield. We can lose Doctor Strange. We can lose MJ or Ned or somebody. So when Tobey Maguire got stabbed, I was like, it's it. They fucking killed him. And like, holy shit, my heart is broken, you know? Because now I'm thinking like, because he brings up Mary Jane. So it's like, when everyone goes back to the universe, Peter Parker from that universe is going to be gone because he got killed in this universe. So then I'm like, holy shit, like this might add like all this other emotional stuff. And it's just all these things are going through my head over something as simple as a stab. Whereas we see stabs in a bunch of other movies, and I don't give a fuck about the stab. This movie was so good, they turned a stab into like a huge moment where my fucking heart sank, and I
it was like an Iron Man getting stabbed in Infinity War.
Yes.
You're just like, oh shit, your heart stops because you're like, holy shit, he gets stabbed. He fixes the problem, but you're like, for a moment, you're like, holy shit. And I'm glad they played it off because this is one of the darkest like Spider-Man movies I've seen in a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Like this is almost the same level of Spider-Man 2 of just kind of how almost miserable it is at times. Because between Tom Holland getting his ass kicked every 2 goddamn fucking seconds, between the fact that he's being thrust on so much responsibility that he clearly does not want, people are dying all around him. And the end of this movie, it's like, this to me, it's like, this is, we got to redo the tier list for Spider-Man movies because this is fucking up there with the ending alone. Of how dark this movie is. This ending, because you're like, oh, he has to solve the problem, but he's accepting responsibility. And you don't understand until the last shot of this movie, you don't understand how truly alone he is.
By the way, so I'm not being a troll when I say this because I mean it from my perspective because I'm going to say this as a good thing, but you're going to take it as a bad thing and you're going to argue it. And I'm not going to even engage in you in that argument because I'm 1,000% right. This ending is literally the butterfly effect. It's the exact same ending as the butterfly. Like literally shot for shot the same scene.
Never saw that movie.
It's pretty good, but Alan hates it and I understand why and he has reasons to. But it's miserable. But imagine the last 10 minutes of this movie. That's all Butterfly Effect. And I gotta tell you, like, with Butterfly Effect, I almost cried in that fucking ending. And they did the exact same thing here, and they did it better. They actually did the Butterfly Effect thing even better. And it's really palatable because it's just 10 minutes at the end. And you don't need to make a whole fucking 2-hour movie about it. You know what I mean? So I fucking love the ending, and I strongly feel like if anyone else in the chat has seen Butterfly Effect, let me know if you guys see the similarities as well as who do you think did it better, because I think that Spider-Man still did it better. I really do think it did. But you mad at me, Alan?
No, I'm glad you're not putting a Jack and Jill is better than Endgame fucking situation here. Like, wow, hey guys, we got the ball.
You explained that very thoroughly that I understood.
Okay. Yeah, guys, we got the ball.
For like Spider-Man fans, if you guys want to learn the language that Diaz was speaking here, he was talking about how they made a successful version of One More Day.
That's the better part of this movie. They made a successful part of One More Day. And for Spider-Man fans of the comic, because me and God, we had this discussion. Mm-hmm. One More Day is one of the worst comic runs of all time.
Got the devil in it.
Yeah, and trust me, it is. I'll let you explain that because I'm gonna go on a rant and my voice.
I ain't explain shit. That comic's trash. That's just been around for like 12 years. Go read it, or watch any.
No, don't fucking read it. No, go to Linkara, and he does a beautiful fucking video about how bad that comic is. But just a quick fucking summation. but a quick summation. One More Day is essentially. Okay, so Civil War happens in the Marvel comic books, and Aunt May gets shot. She's dying. And he's going to every single person in the Marvel universe to try to fucking solve the problem, but nobody either wants to help or can help in the short amount of time. So he even goes to Doctor Strange and tries to do this whole thing. That's why everyone, when they saw Doctor Strange in this movie, were like, "Oh shit, we're gonna do One More Day." But what ends up happening, he's like, "Well, fuck, I'm gonna call up Mephisto because apparently he has a devil on fucking speed dial." Calls him up and goes, "Can you help me out?" He goes, "I will save her on one condition. You want me to sacrifice like my life or happiness? No, your marriage. Why?" So he's married to Mary Jane at this point, and for some fucking reason, he wants to sacrifice the marriage. So the whole thing ends with them kind of Mary Jane just forgets who he is, and Spider-Man's now single again.
Oh Jesus, that does sound bad.
For no fucking reason, and it's not like he's miserable. It's not like he's in his apartment crying. He goes out and has a party. He's having friends, like he's having fun. I'm like, so what the fuck was the entire point of this?
Jesus Christ, that sounds fucking terrible.
Oh, it's so bad. But this movie fixes it because he accepts responsibility. He goes, look, I fucked this up and I caused such a problem by avoiding responsibilities that the entire universe can fall. Have them all forget about me. He goes, they will never remember you. That's fine. I can handle that. And the end of the movie where he somehow affords an apartment without a single job and barely graduated high school in New York. I don't fucking know how he did it, but he'll find a way. He then makes his suit. And when he's swinging around, like, he is more alone than he's ever been in the entire Spider-Man franchise. And I felt so fucking bad for him.
Yeah, because it's triumphant music, but it's so fucking sad. And I was like, I kind of love this. Because, like, I love, like, okay, and not to, I know JP's in the chat. I don't want to start no shit. But, like, this is why I don't like Superman sometimes. And that's why I've always liked Batman. Batman has shit that makes him imperfect, and it makes sense a lot of the shit he's going through, or whatever. Oh, thank you, Dirt Pieces. No Way Home was a Dark Knight. Yeah, that's what Ali said over here. And yeah, dude, I completely agree with you in that sense.
It has moments of it, yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. But that's like Superman. I know, like, you know, I haven't watched a lot of that shit, and I haven't read a lot of the comic books. But like, for everything that I have seen, which is not a lot, there's a lot of shit where, like, they don't really tell me, like, what's imperfect about Superman. He's just fucking great, and I feel like he doesn't earn the greatness. He's just, ta-da, I'm awesome. And with Spider-Man, what I liked before is that, you know, he's nerdy for a long time, and then when he does get his powers, he's confused. But then in here, he gets so imperfect, and, like, it's almost like, if someone asks you, do you want to be Spider-Man? After seeing this, no, I would never want to be Spider-Man. That looks horrible.
Why would anybody want to be Spider-Man? Is like, honestly, if you know me, you want to be Iron Man? Yeah, that sounds about right. Cool. Captain America? Fuck yeah, that's cool. Thor? Of course I do. Spider-Man?
Well, no, I won't be Captain America either, because the way he gets his powers, that looks painful as fuck. That looks awful.
Oh, it's painful as fuck, but like, you become like the hottest man in the world, and you could do everything awesome. Everyone loves you. Fuck yeah.
I don't know.
I want to be tall.
I want to be fucking, like, I don't want to be the Punisher. Oh no, be his kids and mom. Or,
hey, wait! You want to be the Punisher?
Yeah.
I mean, you could do that right now if you really wanted to.
Yeah, it's not superpowers, but he's really good with a gun.
Nah, bro. Nah, fuck that shit.
That might go to my crush on John Bernthal, though. That might be, you know, like, oh, hey, fucking Red. Don't you tell me what to do in my life, motherfucker. Whatever the fuck he's saying to Daredevil. God, dude, imagine Punisher yelling at Spider-Man, like, you walk around out getting pussy out here trying to fucking fight everybody in fucking goddamn New York shit. Like, I would love that, dude. Just to talk with them, and Peter's like, oh, calm down, you shoot too much. Oh, shit.
I mean, I don't know how Spider-Man could possibly get caught by Punisher because of the Spidey sense. Oh!
Look at Cedric fucking up.
Policy.
The Pulsey. I want to be a Pulsey. If we try
I thought he was going for, like, saying, like, polycule or something like that, like fucking Flash.
Yeah, why would you? But again, the Punisher, it's like, why would you want to be the Punisher? Because, like, first you have to watch your family get gunned down, and then you just.
Well, no, that's why I changed it when I said it. Yeah, because I was like, oh shit, no, the family game.
Yeah, because, like, I don't want to be Batman. Fuck that.
Nah.
I chose Iron Man specifically. Nah, because you have to watch your parents die in an alley over nothing. At least Iron Man, like, all you gotta do is get blown up a couple times. That's fine.
But, like, Iron Man's parents get murdered too.
Yeah, but that's like way beforehand. That's not the start of his character arc.
But see, like, and you know who I would want to be? I would want to be Superman, because me with Superman's powers, I would just be Omni-Man, and I just won't do shit all day. I'll marry this Asian girl. I'll have Glenn as a fucking son.
Yeah, but then you have to know your entire planet got vaporized, and it's like you're the only one of your entire kind left.
Well, no, but I'm saying like I would be the Omni-Man version.
Oh, okay.
Like
yeah.
I would just be like, because guys, I'm gonna like Invincible's great, the boys are great, but they're all Superman. Can we please stop pretending they're not the same character? They're
yeah.
So yeah, so like that's why I like the character, because like his imperfections, that he's a piece of shit. Whereas, you know, other characters, I feel like they don't get that. It's just like, I'm the best ever, and that's it.
Actually, that's a good question while we're wrapping this up. Ganja, what superhero would you want to be?
Yeah, I know, right?
Honestly, I'll take Spider-Man.
Why? We just went through. Why? That's a bad idea.
Well, which one though? Because there's a lot of Spider-Mans.
I would like to try to do the Tobey Maguire one, because I do like the Sam Raimi universe better in terms of being a fan of it. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I'd rather take the Miles Morales universe, because that seems a little more balanced. And if I choose the Ultimate, I'm getting yeeted at the end of this fucking
I was about
line.
to say, are you going to be in the Ultimate universe? Because that universe does not have a good ending, bro.
I guaranteed myself a good ending by choosing the Miles Morales pathway.
That's fair.
I whitewashed them like Tom Holland did.
Jet, what would you, if you any superhero, male or female?
Franklin Richards.
Who the fuck?
The kid, Invisible Girl, and what is his name?
Oh,
and Mr. Fantastic's kid.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't even know their powers.
What's her power set? Because Stretchy and Invisible, what'd that even out to?
I'm not going into further details.
Alrighty then.
Maybe she throws anteaters at people or something, some fucking crazy ridiculous thing.
Knowing the comics, probably some weird sexual shit.
Yeah, knowing Jet, weird sexual shit.
She's really good at Googling.
Yeah. But yeah, dude. Overall, I guess we can wrap it up as far as ratings go because it is a long show. Yeah, for me personally, this movie's a 4.5 out of 5. The only thing that doesn't make this perfect is the fact that it is another one of these Marvel movies, and I let it all go as far as things I don't like about Marvel movies. But like to say that they're not here, they're here. There's things that are a little confusing. There's lots of jokes. I'm like, I wish we hadn't done that. But like, yeah, it's not a perfect movie. But like, that's all I can say is like, yeah, it's not perfect. But like, I'm not gonna sit here and complain. Like, I fucking love this movie. Like, this is probably and this is like really ridiculous. I'm gonna rewatch Mortal Kombat and the Suicide Squad. But like, when I came out, this is like, well, I found my favorite movie of the year. This is number 1. But I will watch Mortal Kombat again and Suicide Squad and see where it lands after that. But like, this is one of the best movies I've seen this year, probably the last
easily.
2 years. Yeah. And it's my second favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. The only thing better than this is Spider-Verse because that movie, it's like this movie is just that. So I'm not going to give this a point above that. The reason why this movie is good is because of Spider-Verse. So for any of you guys who haven't seen Spider-Verse, if you like this, please watch Spider-Verse. It's fucking, mwah, chef's kiss. It's amazing. Jet, what would you rate this movie?
I'd say definitely a 4.7 out of 5. Because, like, while it was a really, really good movie, I did have my problems with it. But, like I said, there were nitpicks. Mm-hmm. But overall, like, I had a lot of fun with it. So far, this might be... It's hard to put where I want to put this movie. I would definitely put it on par with Spider-Verse.
Yeah, and that question Gene said, would you give it a 5 if Spider-Verse didn't exist? Honestly, still no, because this has Marvelisms. Like, I don't like Happy's thing. I don't like the James
it was bad at first, but they made it work as the movie went on.
Yeah, but those little things like, because that's what I mean by Marvelisms. Like, I don't want to say like, oh, that's Spider-Man's fault. It's like, no, like the fact that he just has a suit, it just goes, he just turns on. It's like, no one's gonna bring up like that's fucking crazy that like his suit just appears in 2 frames of film, and like. You know what I mean? Like, at least in the old Spider-Man stuff, he has to, like, rip his shirt off or...
Well, he has the nanotech Iron Spider, stupid-ass fucking bitch-ass
suit. But it's not this movie's fault. It's Iron Man's fault from Homecoming and Endgame and Infinity War and all that shit. So it's like, I hate that, and I think that's dumb as fuck, but I can't take that away from this movie too much because, once again, this movie has to work with the stupid shit they've done in the last 4 movies. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what sucks about being a sequel and being good is that if the movies prior are fucking terrible... You gotta take some of that with you, and you gotta be, you gotta be dumb. And unfortunately, Marvel fucking sucks, and this is what happens. But like I said, I love this movie, so I won't be too negative. But yeah, it's still a 4.5 out of 5, whether or not Spider-Verse is there. But thanks for asking that. Ganja, how about you, man? What'd you rate this?
Man, this motherfucker's a 5 out of 5, son. The perfect movie, best movie of the fucking year. If you want to go see any kind of film that's out now in both theaters and possibly other connections you can find, go see it. It's way worth your time. It's an overall story that completes itself. Hell, honestly, I think you could get out of watching any of the other movies and understand the story for itself. I think it's a really good, solid solo adventure. Now, give me a second, because my dog just programmed something out the trash, and he's not being a good boy. Oh, and I'll round it back to a further review when I come back.
Okay, sweet. Alan, take it away, good sir. What would you rate this thing?
This is probably definitely up there with my favorite movies I've seen this year. This is easily the best Spider-Man in the MCU, easily. But it is one of those things where it's not just because the movie itself is great, but because it does a lot with Tom Holland. My favorite scene in the movie is something that I know Ganja might bring it up as well, but I've been waiting for this conversation since MCU Spider-Man was in Civil War of, hey, when are the Spider-Mans going to have a conversation about the web blasters?
Yeah.
And I was like, they had that quick conversation of like, where the fuck does it come from? This and that. And I was like 5 minutes, I'm like, man, I want that again. But then they do it again in the climax. I'm like, I've been waiting for this forever because you've seen 100 memes, people have written out the whole scripts, but finally be able to see that conversation and they're not making fun of each other or insulting. They're just kind of like, that's kind of cool. Oh, that's weird as hell. Hey, what happens here? Do you get web blocked? Oh, there was that one time. They're having kind of fun with it. And I enjoyed it because I like all of it. It was something I always say, whenever you do an adaptation of a character, and Spider-Man had more adaptation than most, you get to see little differences. And these are 3 essentially the same characters. But the way Amazing Spider-Man acts versus Tobey Maguire versus Tom Holland is extremely different. But they all manage to have similarities in the way they're all kind of dorks. And I really
are dorky as fuck. But it's fun to see, though.
Yeah, and it's fun to see. And this movie has so much. This has dialogue on dialogue on dialogue. Like during the climax, I always hate when because me and you had the same conversation. When there's a big climax, you're making jokes, but there's a situation where at one point it's like, yo, we're fucking losing. We're fucking losing. Okay, when I was with the Avengers, and they go, okay, cool. What's that?
Yeah.
These guys don't know what the fucking Avengers is. And then they're making jokes, and Toby goes, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? I'm like, oh, that's perfect. You managed to bring it right back because they don't dwell on anything too much. But this movie has so much going on for it. I want to watch this movie again. If time, like, I might miss Monday or Tuesday show and see it again. So if I'm not here Monday or Tuesday, I'm watching fucking Spider-Man again.
Yeah, I've seen it 3 times now at this point, so I'm pulling.
Yeah, well, don't watch it too many times or someone might be funny. But
Yeah. Well, I probably won't announce it. Hey guys,
Hey,
that's
hey,
the only
first,
time I have.
first of all, Spider-Man is some real man shit. Calm down.
Sure. But again, there's so much in this movie. There's so much little details. There are little like this movie has little issues, but there aren't issues that take away from the movie too much. Even the Doctor Strange issues we discussed. Like as much as that bothered me that the movie, there's so much cool shit that happened that I wanted this movie to be longer. Fuck 2 hours, but give me a 6-hour cut of this fucking movie. Just give me more.
He wants a Snyder cut of Spider-Man.
I want a Snyder cut of this movie. But yeah, and honestly, the only thing I ever want for the movies, I know you can't ever do this again. This was a once in a lifetime thing. I wouldn't mind seeing Toby again, just one more time, just randomly in the MCU at some point.
You could probably see him in the Spider-Verse.
Well, maybe they might end up doing
It's
that.
always cheaper to get them to do voices rather than live appearances.
Yeah, but it hit a little harder seeing him, like, because at one point they go, Joe's like, "Are you gonna go dressed as a youth pastor the whole time?" Just as a suit. I'm like, yeah.
Look at that chest hair Lord Farquaad got.
That's pretty fucked up.
Fuck you.
But
by the way, hold on a second. You can finish after you're done. When I saw the red under the green, I thought you had a Spider-Man shirt under there for a second, and I got a little excited. I was like, this motherfucker's wearing a Spider-Man costume. Oh shit,
bro! If I had time, I would do it, but Nick would fire me.
Honestly, dude, I would make fun of you for a very, very long time if you did that shit.
You would fire me.
I would have cheered you on. I just got excited.
I know you would have, buddy.
I got excited when I saw that red. I was like, yeah, do it.
Oh.
Nah. But the far rating, this is a 4.5. This is one of those movies where it's like, it's not my favorite movie of the year. It's my highest rated movie of the year because at the end of the day, it's like, compared to my Dune and No Time to Die, I love those movies for the reasons that I love them. But this made me so excited. This is one of those things where I will always give you extra points. I will always give you extra points if you can surprise me in a way that I enjoy it. If I'm going to Dark Fate, I love Dark Fate. I know everyone hates Terminator Dark Fate. I love that movie because within the first 5 minutes, I'm like, I did not expect that to happen at all. You just shot John Connor in the face, and that's how you start the movie. Okay, I'm sold. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. With this, every single thing. And yes, I knew that the certain villains were gonna come in, and there was a 60% chance that Toby and Andrew are gonna be there. But the way they did it, the fact that they did it well, to me makes this like it would have been easily a 4 any other movie, but the extra surprise gives us a 4.5. This is definitely like top 3 favorite movies of this year. This is probably my 3rd favorite Spider-Man movie. Spider-Verse and Spider-Man 1 are above this, but this is fucking amazing. The only reason it's not like number 2 is because this movie unfortunately has to rely on the fact that other movies exist, whereas Spider-Verse and Spider-Man 1 don't. That's why I think that they're better Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, and I will say, I have 2 things to say before we get out of here, though. One of which is people talk about me all the fucking time in the chat, and I understand that because I say a lot of shit that pisses people off, and that's fine. But the thing is, though, is like I'm never a contrarian. I know that I have like a very contrary to like what people think about movies. Like it happens often, but like I was wrong about this movie. I talked about this trailer in a negative way like 5 fucking times. I was like guaranteeing this movie was gonna be shitty as fuck. When Ganja would talk to me outside of the show, man, can't wait for that Spider-Man. I'm like, Ganja, you're fucking stupid. And also, like, you know they're only gonna be in there for a cameo. You're getting excited for a fucking cameo, and I could not have been more wrong. I'm wrong as fuck. I was wrong about Infinity War. I was wrong about a lot of shit. I was wrong about the first Halloween remake or the 2018 remake. So yeah, clip this right now. I want you to clip this because I'm telling you, I'm not full of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I will I'll be honest when I'm fucking wrong. And yeah, like, so, yeah, I was wrong.
This is the part where I make fun of you, but in all honesty, I was right there with you. I talk more shit about this movie to people where it's like, I've talked shit about Tom Holland as Spider-Man. So it's like, I'm happy to be fucking wrong in this situation, too.
Yeah, me too, because at the end of the day, I just want to see a good movie. I just want to fucking have a good time. And that's why when I say shit about Jack and Jill being better than Endgame,
oh my god!
I'm not just fucking around because people think I'm like goofing off or whatever. Like no, like Go watch Endgame again. You sit there, dude, literally, like, if you guys have the free time, I know no one has, like, fucking 8 hours to fucking have, but, like, put Jack and Jill on one side, and make sure to put your emotions, like, in the thing right here where it's like, okay, I feel this way about it, I know it's gonna be this bad, blah, 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 and then watch Endgame and be like, oh, I can't wait, it's gonna be awesome, and just watch those 2 movies, and just realize that when this one ends, you're like, I laughed a couple times, let me go, oh, this is still playing, and I'm bored, and I'm hungry, and they won't stop at the same storyline, and they're just talking, and there's a joke about fucking sandwich. Ugh! Endgame fucking
Nick,
sucks.
you're in such a good place, and you're like, you know what? I need to dig a hole.
I'm sorry, Jack and Jill whomps Endgame's ass.
Oh my god,
Endgame
bro.
is fucking terrible. Please, people. I mean, honestly, and if you guys disagree with me, cool. Tell me on in the PMs on Facebook, whatever. But like, I'm telling you guys, if you watch Endgame again and stop this stupid thing about like going to the movie theater and just like, oh, Marvel's shitting on my face, I love it. If you just take that off and just watch it as a fucking human with individuality, I can guarantee you'll walk out going like, oh my god, I fucking hate that movie because it's fucking garbage. But anyways, yeah, that's how I feel about that. And another thing too, Venom. Him being in this universe, I gotta tell you, you said this earlier, Alan. Oh, I don't know if we're gonna see Tobey Maguire again. I hope we do. I think we are. I think that this storyline is too big to let go of now. We have to keep here. And I think that Venom is going to be part of this.
I just realized we didn't even talk about the after credit because when it comes to the trailer, we will talk more about the Doctor Strange teaser when it comes out for everybody. Just because there's a lot to go in there, but we do have to talk about the Venom thing where Sony tried so fucking hard to get Tom Hardy in there, and he's in there for less than 30 seconds and let the little drop. Like that's all you get. Fuck you. Go back to your own universe.
That's good because they read the room.
Venom is pretty much in third person talking about that. Wait, we just got here. No.
But here's the thing, Reese, because like I thought the same thing too, because he glows and he goes away because of Doctor Strange's stupid little spell. But that little drop was like
that little drop, y'all.
I'm telling you, that little drop is gonna make its way up Spider-Man's ass.
Oh yeah, it will. But the thing is, the whole retconning and changing it, because one of the things that always bothered me, the idea of Sony's Venom being in there, is we're never going to get the Dark Spider-Man storyline, which Spider-Man 3 or even every animated one has done a Dark Spider-Man storyline, which is always interesting when you're seeing a character that's generally happy-go-lucky, seeing what happens when they go dark. That's always an interesting thing to see as long as it's done well. What ends up happening with this situation is they left a drop here. So he's not going to be the Venom in Sony where he's kind of like, he's, joking around and that kind of stuff, where he's like kind of like, he's not really evil, he's just kind of an asshole. Like, he's not really evil, Sony's Venom. But the fact that they can say, oh, multiversal energy changes, so he's more psychotic, or he's more like psychologically going to fuck with people, because that's supposed to be what symbiote does. It absorbs and it brings out the worst in you, the stuff that you're hiding, because everyone wants to necessarily hide the bad parts of them. The suit brings that out and exposes it to the world, and then it's like, okay, that's who you are. They can easily rewrite that, so it's like, oh yeah, it technically came from this different universe, but don't worry about it, it's not the same thing because multiversal energy.
But imagine if that black shit gets on Spider-Man, he's going through a lot of emotions. I mean, the thing we ended this review with is like, man, poor guy, he's sad, he has nobody. Exactly. Imagine those negative emotions come out because of the Venom. Like,
exactly.
This is gonna be really amazing, man. Like,
it will be, and that's the thing. The benefit of it, and the fact that you don't sit there and bring in the Sony's Venom, you now have a chance to do your own. Because look at what happened in Venom and Let There Be Carnage. A little piece made a Carnage who's different than Venom. So now people are like, that's not Tom Hardy's voice. Why isn't he like doing a rap battle or some shit? It's like, well, no.
Going skinny dipping.
Why isn't he funny? He's like, well, it's not the same Venom. It's a little piece, but because he traveled the multiverse, it changed him and made him more evil. So
we also don't know what Eddie Brock he's going to encounter.
Exactly. He might not encounter Eddie Brock right away.
Yeah, but then this also gives us a chance to be like, okay, like, there's people that want this enough, so Sony, Marvel, keep your deal together. And then maybe let's bring Doctor Strange back, and, maybe Peter's like, hey, Strange, I hate to bother you again, but there's, like, this fucking Venom thing that's fucking with me. Can you please, like, help me out with this shit? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, that could easily happen, too. So, we'll see. But it's just, there's potential.
Yo, man.
What's up?
Are they setting up Secret War?
I think they've been setting up Secret War for a while now.
Yeah.
Because that's what a buddy of mine was telling me, that's how they'll introduce the Secret War. But yeah, something Viper's in saying chat. It's like, yeah, Peter's extremely vulnerable right now because he's lost everybody and he has absolutely nothing. That's a perfect thing for an evil symbiote suit to really feed off of, because there's something Andrew Garfield says when Gwen Stacy died. I got bitter. I didn't hold back my punches, because he's like, what's the fuck's the point? That's what the suit brings out of you. It's like, hey, it's gonna be like the devil. It's like, hey, why are you, why hold back your punches? Fuck him. He just killed somebody. Punch him harder. punch.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's what the suit can do. And having Tom Holland go evil, like that would be extremely interesting. And they have the perfect situation. Kevin Feige's like, yeah, we're taking one little drop, get the fuck out of our universe, and they could do whatever they
Viper
want.
also brings up another good point. This Flash Thompson is great to play one of the versions that get taken over by the symbiote.
He's too.
He's a
much
glory
loser.
hound. That's exactly what some versions of Eddie Brock is.
Yeah, but he's too much of a loser.
Oh, exactly. What was Eddie Brock?
Yeah, but at least Eddie.
Even the Sony version calls him a loser.
I know, but like this dude shows up like in every single fucking of these movies. He shows up for like one scene and then just disappears out of sheer embarrassment every time.
Well, one thing I want to bring up. So there's this character named Toxin. And I guess this is like a combination of the characters. I can pull this up really quick. But yeah, here we are right here. So, I mean, do you feel like we can get this at a certain point?
I guess I have to see the stream, but is he white?
Oh,
Thompson?
I'm sorry, I forgot you guys can't see it. But no, it's just this. It looks like Carnage, like, and it's basically Spider-Man with like the Nemesis. So in Nemesis and Resident Evil, he gets these like tentacles that come out of his like chest and back and ass and dick and everything. And yeah, like the way they do it though, it's like, you know, like he gets that as he gets injured. Now in Spider-Man, I don't know, I don't read this shit, but like it's a Venom character. It's not even like, I mean, it's in the Spideyverse, obviously. But, I mean, it's way more intense, and I feel like it's not like a big, like, you know how Riot's really huge and Carnage's really huge? This character is almost like, just, like, small, like, surface level, like I'm pretty sure he's probably, like, really smart or something, or...
But yeah, the Viper in the chat's like, it's probably going to be for Venom 3. That would make a lot more sense. As far as for MCU, I think they're going to want to go with the digital symbiote storyline. Because much like Spider-Man 3 with Raimi, it was like, oh, it was on the moon, and then they brought it back when they went back to the moon, and then they just went and found... you know, Spider-Man, because it just happened to be around and it fed off of his darkness. And then once it left, it found Eddie Brock, and that's how you get the Venom storyline. Right now, this situation, yeah, he could easily find an Eddie Brock or find somebody else that is so obsessed with Spider-Man. And now the symbiote itself, it's like they're probably going to want to tell a more traditional symbiote story versus what Sony did, which is like, we're just going to tell this weird alien movie and it just happens to be Venom.
You know, I want to send you something really quick. So, by the way, people are doing this in a bad way, but it's just my Zoom's not working well. I'm gonna show you guys this in the show chat room.
I clicked the wrong one. I saw Horse Teeth.
No, you're fucking stupid.
Don't click that link, Nick.
I'm not.
That's okay. That's not bad.
Okay.
That's not bad. That's a dope ass outfit. They did that in I think they did a version of that in the Ultimate Spider-Man video game, which is fan-fucking-tastic. I recommend everyone try to find a way to play it because that game plays like garbage. But it's a fantastic game. But
see how like, the wires are coming out of him? Like it's like Venom's like evaporating or something. You know.
I see that being another storyline with the symbiote. I don't see that the first time. I see it being like Spider-Man 3 with Sam Raimi. I see that being the storyline they go to. If they do it in the next one, I think that's rushing it. I think that because they're doing a new trilogy, they confirmed with Tom Holland, we're doing 3 more movies. I think what they should do is they should just establish a new one in the 4th one, and the 5th one be the symbiote storyline. And then the 6th one, I'm not sure, honestly. I don't know if I doubt they're going to want him for like 10 fucking movies, but they're going to have to be, basically maybe the 6th one be like, hey, Miles, you're taking over, as Tom Holland goes and does another Uncharted movie.
I know the 5th
I
one
mean, he's talking about raising a family.
Yeah, I think
that man looks younger than, like, sorry.
Yeah, I think the 4th and 5th one need to have to do with Morbius and Venom, obviously. But, like, the Vulture, too. I mean, there's characters from Homecoming that we still haven't got, like... You know, like, what was their ending? Like, Shocker, for instance, he's still alive, right?
Vulture?
No, Shocker. Like,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because didn't
Yes.
he work for Michael Keaton's character? And then, like...
Yes.
Yeah, so, like, we need to have them. Someone said Bokeem. Yeah, I don't know who Bokeem is. I don't know if you're just fucking around.
Damn, BoJack?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so random thing for Spider-Man fans. I've always confused Shocker and Electro.
Yeah, they're different.
I know, but like
Racism.
every time I was...
Yeah, racism.
Racism.
I'm not talking about the movies. I was watching the TV shows as a kid. I'm like, because to me they always had the same kind of powers, or at least similar enough.
You add Black Lightning in there too?
No,
Static Shock?
no, because Static Shock and Black Lightning are way cooler than Electro and Shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
agree.
said it.
I agree. Black Lightning is a shit. That show, by the way, people watch that show. It's fucking great. But anyways, my whole thing is just kind of like, yeah, like those characters that we gotta follow up with. Liz has not been brought up for a lot of this, and I'm wondering too, is Peter gonna be like, you know what? I don't want to bother MJ again, but you know, Liz is fine as fuck. I'm gonna go over there and mess with her again. You know what I mean? Or what if Liz forgets who Peter is, what she did, because that's the whole storyline of this, and she's like, hey, I want to kill Spider-Man for fucking destroying shit with my father. Like the Vulture is messing with some vampire and all this other shit, and like. yeah, like I got to get Spider-Man back, and she forgets that she was in love with Spider-Man because she don't know who Peter Parker is now. So now we got a reason for her to like start, soldering in her fucking dad's basement, making robot arms. Like, oh yes, I'm gonna be the Vulture bitch, yeah, and just going after fucking
The Vulture bitch.
yeah, like
I hope they bring back the Vulture.
The
'Cause
Vulture bitch.
yeah, not bringing back the Vulture, yeah, but Vulture bitch though, I think Vulture bitch definitely has a place in the next Spider-Man movie.
Oh damn, I'm
Sure.
dead.
Or like when I have like the symbiote get her. She's just like
Hey,
doing like she's playing video games and he's like, what's that? And I'm fuck.
No, I just realized they went through except for Venom. They went through every single major villain in Spider-Man's mythos. What the fuck?
No,
what are they gonna?
not? Because for one, Hawkeye's still an Avenger who's somewhat connected to Peter, and his storyline is spouting off with this Kingpin shit.
Oh yeah,
and then
you got Kingpin.
Matt Murdock. He's been helping him too. So we got Punisher villains that can begin to this, and the Punisher, dude, the Punisher, like
Which
oh my
who
God.
hangs out? He does hang out with Spider-Man in the comic series.
Yeah, Kraven the Hunter, that's another one. Scorpion, which I could have sworn there was a character who was supposed to be Scorpion, but they didn't call him Scorpion in Homecoming. There is a character in there that they're Scorpion, but they weren't going to reveal that until later.
I can see that.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, dude, like, there's a lot of shit here. Who knows?
They still got a couple big hitters.
Yeah,
I just realized they went through most. Oh, they still technically haven't even done Rhino properly. So.
true. Oh, I'm surprised they didn't bring him back and fucking
Well,
this movie.
they brought him up. They didn't bring him in. They brought him up because at one point he's like, "Man, the weirdest thing I ever thought was a fucking mechanical rhinoceros." Everyone goes, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
But yeah, I'm looking over here too. I just want to show this really quick, and I'll read this to you guys in the call.
Sure.
But yeah, Jackal, Black Cat, Hydro Man, Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin would be interesting. I don't know how they would do that because they don't have a Norman Osborn in this universe. So
Yeah.
But yeah, we got Tinker, Living Brain, Big Man, Spencer Smythe, Spider Slayers, Crime
Spider Slayers
Master.
would be cool.
they haven't even done Kraven the Hunter yet.
No, that's what
Yeah.
you said earlier. Because
Did I? Oh, I missed
yeah,
it.
I reset that in the thing. But like, yeah, Mountain, Marco, Silvermane, Prowler, Kangaroo, Schemer, Gibbon.
Schemer.
Some of these are actually pretty.
We're getting the problem with superheroes like Spider-Man and Batman that have been around forever is they used to have the weekly comic issue where they just make up like put a hat on him and he does riddles. Ooh, the Riddler. Okay, cool. But then like, oh, that was so popular. We need to do another one. The Mad Hatter. Yeah.
Yeah,
He looks exactly like the Riddler and he rhymes. Like they just started making shit up. I'll never get over the fact that Condiment King is a real canonical fucking villain. Oh my god.
He is.
Yeah,
lame as
so
shit.
there's a lot of fucking villains here, so I can't read all of them. By the way, I was planning on reading all of them, and then I got to this page, I was like, oh shit, never mind. Because this is a little ridiculous. But, yeah, there is a lot of shit here, and Ned Leeds apparently was Hobgoblin at one point, so they could do that. They gotta do something with Ned. I feel like, okay.
I mean, he almost is Doctor Strange's like buddy, gonna train. He's like, Doctor, you're not bad.
You know what's fucked up, though? And this is where, like, you can tell me and Gandra are friends. I'm just gonna say it the way I want to say it. I want Ned to end up fucking with Zendaya. See how
Damn.
that turns out.
Why?
He
Your
trying to
porn
cop-
history, is fucking weird. Like, oh, the
First of all,
It's not even about that. It's not even about that.
Jet. That sounds hot.
No, it's not even about
No.
high. You fucking. No, I'm saying
I get you, Diaz. Hand in hand with Pervert Idiot. Come on.
No, I'm saying like, because Peter looked a little jealous and walked in. He's like, he walks in. He's like, oh, hey, Zendaya, and then Ned walks by. He's like, hey, what's up? And he's like,
He didn't look jealous. He looked upset because that's their friends that they don't remember him.
yeah, but wouldn't that be an interesting storyline where it's like, oh, they don't remember me,
No.
and I'm mad that like they're dating, but yet they don't know me. So it's like, I want to be fucking, I want to beat his ass, but I can't, and I'm jealous, but I understand. Fuck, like what do I do?
Nah, that'd be too cliche.
You're giving off that weird NTR shit.
I don't
What's
know what
that?
that means. So, is that the NRTs?
Oh,
Non-fundamental.
No,
Basically,
yeah.
it's a type of porn where like you get cheated on, but then you're watching the other person get cheated on.
I thought that's cuckolded.
yeah.
Yeah, you had to like go into like it's a T1000 liquid metal. Fucking.
That. I mean, T1000 probably is a search history.
But no, it's not that. It's just storyline wise. Like, that's interesting. You know what I mean? Like,
It'd be generic as hell. Like I've seen that enough times. Where it's like, oh, everyone forgets who you are, and turns out my friends are hooking up. It's like,
dude,
I think it'd
just
be-
based on the guys in this fucking community, that's a whole. They'll turn into somebody else. Like when it comes to fucking women and men, it fucks everybody up. And every man likes to think they're above that shit, and then something happens and it fucks with their head, or like, oh shit. And I want to see because Peter's been, dude. Keep in mind, Peter didn't kill Green Goblin, right? So it's like he's still unbroken. For a girl, it'll break his ass. If Ned's with Zendaya,
Why do you
that
want
would
to
be
see
fun.
him broken like that?
Because
Does
clearly on this movie, it fucking helps the movie. What, do you want to see him fucking like get birthday cake?
He already, no, literally, no one remembers who you are. He lost Aunt May. He basically lost like all his friends knowing who the fuck he is. But you want him to feel even lower by having the girl that he likes go out with his best friend? Like, what the fuck?
What is Tom Holland do to you? Jesus Christ, man! Like, did he fucking kick you in the nuts?
No, it's you fucking nerds that want boring ass like.
This
I want to see him have a great day
If you
today.
want, sir, if you want that, go and watch the first Spider-Man. Harry Osborn and MJ get together. Go, you got that already.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, but you know what else I got? Spider-Man movies doing the same thing over and over again. So it's like, oh, you got that already, and you guys still want fucking Spider-Man movies.
But again,
we're in the same boat, ladies and gentlemen.
No, we're not.
Boat. Look
No,
in the
we're not.
mirror. You're full of shit.
You're full of shit. The reason this movie works not because it's
See,
dark.
that's why bad shit happens to you, because you attract it because you like that shit.
You know, is this what it's like? Is this what it's like talking to me?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
I wish we all said it in unison, but yes.
Yeah. Well, shit. Anyways. Or not. You know, I hope that the next movie he gets a birthday cake and he goes, and all his wishes comes true.
I mean, that'd be nice because we established that Spider-Man's life really fucking sucks. Every man this guy talks to dies or forgets he exists.
No, that doesn't happen.
Iron Man died. Mysterio died. Doctor Strange almost died. Aunt May died. Everyone else forgot about him.
Steve Jobs died.
I gotta tell you, the fact that you guys are still watching Spider-Man movies, it seems like you like motherfucker having a bunch of bad shit happen to him. I like to see it.
No, we just like the fact that at the end of the movie, even though he's okay, the reason we
whatever you do, don't be anybody in this call's uncle or aunt, because they're gonna hope for your fucking death.
Anyway, but I got to jump on when you feel it too. The reason we love Spider-Man is because as much as he goes through all this adversity, he always has this sense of like, it's okay as long as you, the happiness and the hope that he embodies. Because he's at the lowest he's ever been. He has absolutely nobody, but he is still going out there because he still knows what he needs to do to make sure things are right. And that's inspiring, where it's like, hey, he's able to go through adversity and life moves on and he's moving on with it.
Okay.
That's why we like Spider-Man movies.
He's got it. I like the fact that he gets challenged and he overcomes a lot of his adversity. I even enjoy some of the runs where he completely submits and he has to learn how to rebuild himself back up after pretty much destroying his own belief system and personality, which he has done multiple times. Matter of fact, the second Spider-Man touches on that a little bit when he stops giving up being Spider-Man and allows people to get mugged and does a lot of shit and he starts to feel guilty about it. But big thing here. Y'all gotta let my man nut. Like, if he wants to see this guy suffer to get his commies, let him get his commies. Goddamn.
All I'm saying is just like that's how any of these characters are done. Punisher. Part of the reason why that shit. If it was just a show or a movie or a comic or a cartoon or a game about a guy goes, I want to go kill people. It'd be fucking lame. This is why Jed doesn't like action movies because all these movies do that. Once upon a time, a guy's just good at fighting. Bleh, boring. But what's interesting about the Punisher is that it's the fucking rage that he's so like, I'm gonna fuck everybody up. My fucking wife died. My fucking kids died.
Yes,
I want to fucking go. I want to fuck these dudes up. And it's amazing. Batman saving Gotham is not interesting to me. But the fact that it's revenge to an extent, where Batman's like, dude, like my fucking parents were wrong. I'm gonna find these motherfuckers.
Okay.
I'm gonna get them. It's like that's interesting.
No. There are two things. One, Batman. That's why as much as I'm going to see the Matt Reeves Batman, I don't like that because of the fact that it's not supposed to be about revenge. I get it early on, it is, but eventually moves into something else if he does not want the same thing to happen to other people. The thing is, you like rage-filled characters because it's like, oh, because
I'm rage-filled. I relate to it.
Yeah, exactly. You're rage-filled, so these characters will get out your aggressions as you read them. That's why people gravitate toward the Punisher because it was a counterculture to what comics normally were. It was people that they see so much death and destruction, but they embody hope because they want to project that. Whereas characters like Punisher are like, no, the world sucks, and I'm going to showcase how much it sucks by doing all this shit. But those are two different kinds of characters. Spider-Man isn't the Punisher. That's why people, when they're talking about Spider-Man 3, going, oh, why was he dancing? It's because he's not the Punisher. He's not going to dual-wield fucking gats and drive by fucking half of Brooklyn. That's not Spider-Man.
But really quick, just to put this out here, because I'm still responding to Jet. I know Jet's kind of joking, but then again, I don't know. Maybe she's telling the truth that she thinks I'm actually like that. But it's like, one thing I want to bring up as far as the Spider-Man thing goes that I kind of get sick of, it's like, we've had... just in this movie, 3 different Spider-Mans from 3 different eras. And we're not counting the cartoons, the 60s, the 80s, the fucking 2000s, the video games, the current video game going on. And what's the common denominator of all of them? I'm gonna go and help people. And it's like, look, I know today was good. I know this movie was good, No Way Home, and I know that the video game has a good Peter Parker and shit. But it's the same fucking thing literally since 1950. Like, it's been 70 years, and it's the same motherfucker. So if I want something to be different, that's why I want him to fucking get mad at Ned or something. Change it up. They changed it up this time. It was good. So keep doing shit that makes it good.
Okay, but again, like you're saying, well, obviously, it's the same character, so they're going to have certain core. You're talking about the core of the character. That's what's important about these stories is the core remains the same. But when you look at 60s Spider-Man and you compare it to 90s Spider-Man, those are literally different. Like, you couldn't be more different, those kinds of shows. Like, they're so wildly different how they tell the stories and what the characters go through, different interpretations. You're right. We had three Spider-Mans on screen that were completely different. Even if they're
completely different, but overall they're the same.
No, they're not. They have similarities. They have cores to the same. I mean, earlier, they're all dorks. They're all scientists. They all want to do good things. But look at Amazing Spider-Man. He got a little bit darker because he was filled with rage. Look at Tobey Maguire. He understands that rage, was able to grow past it. And I still think Tobey Maguire Spider-Man actually retired. But then you see Tom Holland, who's still growing. It's like these characters have different things, even though that they're playing the same person. It's like, go back to at any point in your life and change one little event and see what happens to that Nick Diaz like 10 years later at separate points. It's even though that the core is the same, the events that change them are interesting for people to end up watching. That's why a character like Spider-Man could stick around since the fucking 50s to 2020, 70, 80 years later, because they're always able to do interesting stuff with the character, not necessarily darker, but they're able to do stuff that can appeal to a large range of people.
Well, like I said, all I was trying to do is just explain why I want to see him tortured more, because I think that, and it sounds fucked up the way I said it, obviously.
It does.
But it's just like, these characters you gotta mine, like when you mine something, it fucking sucks to mine. If we could just get gold out of nowhere, that'd be fucking great, and people would pick that, obviously. But it's the earning. It's you gotta mine shit.
Staying
to get
in a
whatever.
shitty ass apartment with pee stains on his fucking goddamn mattress, and you want him to have worse?
Literally couldn't get much worse.
It could. That's the point of.
Why do you want it to get worse though? It's like this literally. So okay. So next movie, fucking Ned's piping fucking Zendaya in the back, and suddenly greatest movie of all time. You're like, well, how's it gonna be worse? How's Zendaya get shot in the face? Like,
Allie, if because you write. So like, let's just say you're writing a story. You create a problem in this fake imaginary story, right?
Okay.
Do I mean no? Like, answer that. Like, yes or no? Do you create a problem in the story when you make a story?
No, of course. You're generally some
Wait,
sort
why are
of
you
version
playing
of a
them through
conflict.
that? Why are you putting them through shit?
Well, because it depends on what kind of problem you're doing. Is it a personal problem within their life, or is it a problem that's affecting other people's lives?
I'm just saying, if you were a god, you'd be an asshole. Because I mean, that's fucked up. Why are you putting people through? You have all the room on the piece of paper to say that everything goes good for them.
No, that's the whole thing. Everything goes good for them. Is that I think at some point characters should. I don't think a character's arc should end with them being miserable or shot or murdered. I think eventually characters like Spider-Man, he's been with Mary Jane. He probably has a kid. That man is probably retired.
Another thing too, just for realism's sake too, with this Ned thing, let's take Ned off of it, right? Is MJ not going to date anybody else? She's just gonna she's gonna stay single because she loves the person that she apparently forgot.
Well, maybe she will, maybe she won't. But the idea of his best friends kind of that's gonna hurt Peter a lot more than if it was just a rando. Was it?
Because by the way, if I was writing it and I actually put that in there, by the way, I would have him find somebody else, and we added in a new character. Now we got somebody who's different from MJ, different from Liz, and he finds love. Like my story would end nice. By the way,
I mean that's the only thing you said crazy because maybe they introduced Gwen Stacy.
Yeah,
that's also another character.
And by the way, wouldn't it be interesting if she had powers? Maybe she gets bit by something too. She's like, "Hey, I heard about you. Let's bond together because I'm trying to learn off somebody else for my shit."
We basically did at the same time, but Black Cat, Felicia Hardy, like they easily could have her show up, and he like the whole criminal, basically Catwoman type situation with Batman, and like he can move on from MJ. I just don't think it has to be a situation where he loses both of his friends.
Also, too, I think that people think that like, oh, MJ wouldn't be with Ned. That's what Gene said. I think a lot of people say that, but gotta tell you, it's big boy season. Like I said during the movie. And also too,
hell yeah.
Are you guys saying that she won't be with him because he's fat? See, that's fucked up. All of you guys in the chat hate fat people, and I feel offended because
Nick, I think you hate fat people. I think you do because you talk more shit about fat people than I've ever met.
I know because I'm not like hiding behind shit like all.
No, you are literally talking so much shit about fat people all the time. Where you yell at us for not talking more shit.
Because I see in your eyes. I see the racism against fat people in your eyes. I fucking see
You
it.
literally called me out for being Canadian, and that's why you hate me.
Oh,
Yeah, he did do that shit.
Yeah.
Like, are you forgetting that?
All right.
Yes, he is.
I'm sorry.
Although I will say, going off his point, not as extreme, but if I ever met someone from fucking Vermont, I wouldn't trust them.
I don't even know where Vermont is.
You almost
what the
voted
fuck
for
is-
one.
What the fuck is going on with that
Who?
comment? Like,
Bernie
Biden.
Sanders.
Oh.
See, but I didn't even know he was from Vermont, and I've never heard of anyone else coming from fucking Vermont ever.
Look, because Vermont doesn't exist. It's just a tax haven for rich white people.
right. So,
Pinky, get
on
you
that
going.
Which is
note,
why I wouldn't trust it.
anyways, look, guys. As my camera finally changes to a color that's actually okay now that we're done with the
The
fucking
sun
show.
is set.
Yeah, you saw the time of day go into 3 different zones through this fucking show. This is one of our longest ones by 2 hours and 14 minutes. And the years of 2019, 2020, 2021, this is actually one of our longest streams. But
Cool. My voice
Really
is gonna die.
yeah. No, by the way, too, somebody else said that your voice sounded okay with the thing. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. I can't wait for it to go back to normal. I sound like a pubescent child.
If
You
you
don't-
want me
you
to,
don't-
I
you
can
don't
choke
want
the
your-
fuck out of you and break your larynx or something.
All right, let me just punch my throat a bunch of fucking times so I can stay down like a man.
Really quick in chat though, I forgot what somebody. Oh, people are still saying, yeah, watch Spider-Man Spectacular, whatever. No, someone gave us bit bounties for that, so that's definitely gonna happen. Which, speaking of, I do want to show a thing that I made for the 1,500 bounties. What were you gonna say, Alan?
No. Let's just continue on. We're about to say we got a bit bounty for it, but Lucario is like, oh, it'll solve these arguments. It fucking won't.
Nah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know shit about it, but it's like I'm totally open to being wrong on some other shit too, though. Like I said, if it's interesting and there's a point proven, like I will admit I'm wrong. I've proven that today. I was wrong as fuck, guys. It's
Good.
I'm normal. Like
It just took one of the greatest Spider-Man movies of all time to get you to admit something, but sure.
I've admitted many other times. I'm just saying. You motherfucker.
You believe that, and that's what's important.
Alan, you're so wrong, dude. I swear to God.
Probably.
Let me see there. I can't find it. Okay, here we go. People, thank you so much for our boy Ryan Watson for donating 1,500 bits for us to watch an entire season of the Spectacular Spider-Man. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. There it is right there. This is Ganja with the American Pie on his
You
crotch.
damn right.
Oh, that's how you did it. Oh,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna hate what you did for the 2,500 bounty, aren't I?
Oh yeah, there it goes. One more time there. Look at
Play
that.
that shit. Play that shit.
Yeah, you hear
Ganja
that?
had to.
The
Turns
communist.
out
Yeah.
That image is actually rotoscope, so Ganja had to have a pie on his dick, and the person just outlined it.
Look, I fucked the shit out of that pie for art.
I can't believe this. Anyways,
that movie
guys.
was terrible.
Thank you. No, it was not. You're wrong. See, and that's the thing. Like, people, let's be honest in chat. You've heard
No.
me
Y'all gonna get banned.
probably, but chat.
Good.
And by the way, keep in mind, count how many times Allie tries to stop me from whatever because he doesn't want to look bad. But the thing is, though, guys, how many times have you heard me admit that I'm wrong on this show in the past few years, as opposed to the 0 times? Let's see here, boop, 0 fucking times that you've heard Allie do that. Allie has not done that once, Mr. Shake his hand.
Okay, first of all, you could be more wrong. Second of all, if you get past your own ego, I literally said it immediately after you did.
Yeah, just say because you want to follow, Big Brother Nick Diaz, but. I'm sorry, you gotta do this shit on your own, son. You can't just follow my fucking footsteps. I want to be like Nick Diaz. That's what I want to do. Nick Diaz is a big old penis. Fucking jackass.
And this is why nobody likes you.
Yeah. Allie's
Well,
far
to
less
be-
wrong than I am. Holy shit.
Somebody in the chat gets sense.
Anyways, what are you saying, Jet?
I'll hold my tongue.
Okay.
Damn.
But with that said, damn it, Allie's looking down like motherfucker. Actually, Ganja's not bad. Ganja,
What's
Oh,
up?
God.
how many times have you heard Allie admit that he's wrong? Ever?
Not a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's almost like he's full of shit and he's like full of himself, huh?
I don't know about all that. I think you're trying to set him up.
He's
for,
almost like a
fuck
little
you.
bitch. He's like a little bitch, huh?
Yeah, no, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
Yeah, see,
No more. What is love?
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. I love that song. That's a good song. Anyways,
Everyone does.
Allie, would you like to tell him where to find you and all that good stuff, sir?
Alrighty then. So if you want to hear my voice when it's normal, and I guess you probably don't, Check out the Metropolis Collective. We're still on hiatus, but if you haven't caught up on the other stuff, check it out on Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, iHeartRadio, basically everywhere you can listen to a podcast. Follow us on Facebook so you can hear more and Ganja Guru talk about random political shit.
Oh, yes, people. With that said, it's time to get the fuck out of here. The music playing. It's been fun. Thank you guys for chilling with us. I had a great time with y'all, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the pre-show. Goodbye. Stay toasty. And chat the chat. I forget, we're not a pre-show. I'm saying double toast and shit. Stupid. Very stupid. All right, goodbye, everybody.